Welcome to Wednesday Comics.
Brought to you by rootsoftheswampthing.com and Siouxpercon 2018 Return of the Con.
Hey everyone, keep turning those pages.
Welcome to Wednesday Comics. To my right, we have Detective Chimp himself, Alex. How you doing?
Hello everybody.
And to my left, we have Bevo, Superman's friend. How you doing?
I'm doing great, and I love being Superman's friend. I gotta say, Detective Chimp is kind of better.
And I am
kind
Grodd.
of better. So,
would you rather, let me ask you a question. In an arm wrestling contest, Hulk or Grodd, which one?
Hulk.
Who would I rather go against?
Yeah.
Grodd.
What else would it be?
Well, I mean,
I thought between the two, who's going to be stronger?
Who's going to be stronger?
I see.
Hulk's strongest there is.
No, you guys versus Grodd or Hulk?
I go against Grodd. I have a better chance.
Yeah. You
Hulk would
definitely Grodd.
slam me through the fucking wall.
I was going to say, you definitely go Grodd. If you go Hulk, you might die.
But
Depends on what the odds are. If
Grodd
I
lose
lose
his
to
mind control to like.
if I lose to Grodd, is Grodd going to eat my brain? Because I'd rather just have Hulk smash me into the
Well,
wall.
why would he want half a brain?
I'm
Hulk's
gonna
going
say
to get
Hulk.
angry at you no matter what
Hulk.
you do.
Why would you want half a brain? No one wants to eat half a brain. They want to eat a whole brain.
I see.
We are Wednesday Comics.
exactly
We're
what
talking about the weekly comic books this week. We're going to talk about the comic books that came out the week of 3/14/2018. That's the second Wednesday in March. First time I said that correctly all year.
Wow.
It's the second March in March. Okay.
At the end of the show, we're going to play a game, probably seeing the notes that we've played before, called Comic Book Friends. We have Alex and Garrett on the docket to see how much they know about each other and their comic book, not knowledge, but their comic book, like their lives.
Fandom?
Oh,
I don't know the word.
How much you guys care about each other and care about each other's opinions.
I hope I get every question wrong.
this is going to suck.
We'll talk about that
It's gonna be
later.
like, oh, I should have known that answer.
But we wanted to talk about it. It was announced last week, but we didn't get a chance to talk about it because we talked about Marvel's fresh new start.
All new.
Every
fresh start now.
time I hear fresh start, I just keep thinking of like Rotten Tomatoes,
Yeah.
and that the cover's gonna have like tomatoes on the top that are all green.
We are talking DC launching a new publishing imprint, one that actually, I joked they have a million imprints, but this one actually is probably, out of all the imprints, besides Vertigo, the one that I am most excited to see what comes out of it. And it is their Black Label. What it is they're taking all-star writers and all-star artists, putting them together for standalone, unique stories outside the current DC Universe continuity to basically, here's what it says here. Creating DC Black Label doubles down on our commitments to working with all-star talent and trusting them to tell epic, moving stories that they can only tell with the highest levels of creative freedom. So basically what it is out of continuity. They get a good all-star writer, all-star artist, and they say, hey, do whatever you want. There's no restrictions. Do whatever you want. Black Label, I think it says in here somewhere that in terms of it's more for an older crowd. It's kind of like the Vertigo of DC, which, I mean, there's already Vertigo, but it's with those characters. Basically being like, you can be as mature as you want, just tell a story, and then hopefully we get something good out of it. And they talk about in this article, but this press release from DC, like that's how you get stuff like Dark Knight Returns. You don't get that by saying you can't do this. You get that by saying, make me something. So that's what it's going to be. First, in the announced handful of books here, we'll go through them quick, and we're out of 5. You're going to rate me. You're going to tell me what your enthusiasm is. What are you looking for with this or not? 5 being yes, the most. 1 being like, I don't know, I can pass.
Isn't Alex's cap a 2?
Pretty much.
What's a 5 today?
Maybe 3 at the most.
It's a 5 today.
Fine.
Superman Year 1. This is from Frank Miller, John Romita Jr. A groundbreaking, definitive treatment of Superman's classic origin story in honor of his 80th anniversary. This story details new revelations that reframe the Man of Steel's most famous milestones, from Kal-El's frantic exile from Krypton to Clark Kent's childhood in Kansas, to his rise to becoming the most powerful and inspiring superhero of all time. So that's Frank Miller of Dark Knight Returns and John Romita Jr. of also Batman from recent, but also many other things. Where's your hype level? Not hype level, but what's your enthusiasm for this kind of book?
I really am a 1 on this one. It's not even me trying to be a dick. It's just that I don't care for the writer really all that much. I really liked his Sin City. Everything else he's really brought out lately hasn't really been impressive. And Romita Jr.'s art is not something that I look forward to. So I don't need it.
I would say I'm at a 3 on this. There's 2 things I want to say about this book. One, kind of bad timing given that Bendis is retooling the origin. I know this is his own imprint, whatever, so it's not really in continuity, but I just think it's really poor timing. And 2, I think Frank Miller, he's kind of like Scott Snyder for me right now. He can't finish a story to save his life. It starts out with this huge idea, and then they're just like, wait, well, let's just throw everything out there and someone will figure out the story. So that's where I'm like, it's a cool premise because Frank Miller's a great writer. He has been a great writer.
He can be a great writer.
That's better to say. And I don't mind John Romita Jr.'s art as much as you guys don't like it, but I'll probably get the book, but I already see that they're going to put Rao in it, and they're just going to be all kinds of shit, and it's just going to tie into Dark Knight 3, so I'm sure. But 3.
I don't think so.
Well, that's kind of what he did with Dark Knight Returns. He wrote that first, went back into year 1.
Yeah, but it's supposed to be all new.
I know, but I mean, it might loosely tie. I don't think it's going to necessarily like, hey, this is considered what Dark Knight 3
I
goes
think
into.
if it was going to be tied in, they would have plugged it here.
Yeah, true.
What are you at? A 0?
A 2. Here's why. Because I don't know what to expect from this. So there's that surprise factor. Like this could be, and we were talking about before the show. I don't think Frank Miller likes Superman, but there has to be something that he signed on for to be like, I got something to tell. So we'll see. That interests me in a way, being like, it's kind of like when you're going down the highway and you see a car crash. It interests me in that way, being like, let me take a look and see what happened here.
Oh my God.
But John Romita Jr., there is a promo pic that came out for this. I didn't show you guys. I don't know if you saw it. Superman, like his back to the sun, so he's all silhouette. And you can kind of see the style they're going for. And I don't like John Romita Jr.'s art, but
I think, didn't you send that one of our chats?
Yeah,
I remember seeing that.
This style, if you look at that picture, it does look kind of cartoony, almost like Pixar-esque. Like it's not really his usual style. And if he is going to try something different, like if he got on board here and was like, you know what? Let me try something different. If that really is what he's doing, then again, curiosity. I want to go, okay, he's going to try something different. Maybe I'll take a look at it. Oh, by the way, I'm not sure if it says in here, but I saw somewhere else. Oh, yeah. So this book comes out in August 2018. It's only 3 parts, and it's Prestige series. And I believe all of these are 3-issue Prestiges. That's it.
Oh, nice.
So, and that's what they wanted to quickly come out. I mean, not quickly, but shorter runs, contained. You don't have to read anything to read these, and you can just read these stories. And I think maybe that's also their ploy, and that it's for an older audience to get some people that haven't read comics to read comics. So it might be good. You know what I mean? If they know that, like, hey, you got to read these 3, and here's 3 of them.
Yeah.
Batman Last Night on Earth, that's with a K, like Dark Knight, from Scott Snyder and Greg Capullo. Batman wakes up in a desert. He doesn't know what year it is or how the Joker's head is alive in a jar beside him, but it's the beginning of a quest unlike anything the Dark Knight has undertaken before. In the strange future, villains are triumphant and society has liberated itself from the burden of ethical codes. Fighting to survive while in search of answers, Bruce Wayne uncovers the truth about his role in this new world and begins the last Batman story ever told. Where's your out of 5, Garrett? What do you think on that one?
I'm giving it a 1. Like, I hear that whole plot, I'm just like, come on, move on. Like, they're using the momentum of their New 52 Batman run to, like, be like, we're the best storytellers ever. And I'm just like, I'm kind of getting sick of you guys, like, you've been with Batman too much. It's like Dan Slott on Spider-Man. Just, like, take a break and do something else. Yeah. Like, you need to cool your Batman jets because it's getting old.
What do you think, Alex?
I think for me this is more like a 3. Like there's things that interest me on at least what the story is going to be, but I do agree with you, Garrett, that there are other writers and other artists that I think carry the mantle of Batman much better than what Greg and Snyder are doing. So you guys need to, you do need to move on. There's other characters out there that you can try, or you can go back to things that you haven't worked on in a long time. Snyder, American Vampire,
R.I.P. Done.
Dead. Finished.
Dead forever. Where I am with this is probably a 3. Like I want to be out of 4, but it probably is a 3. The reason why, and there's 2 things about this that actually do interest me, and there's one thing that, well, maybe 2. I'll agree with you guys with the Batman thing. Like, really, it could have been like Nightwing instead. And I would be more interested. Be like, Nightwing wakes up with the Joker's head. I'd be okay, I can figure that out. The thing that also bothers me, like I read that synopsis and it seems plot heavy, and that's Scott's like MO is like plot heavy up front. So I can tell this very convoluted story, and then by the time he gets to the point, like really don't care. But maybe since it's 3 issues, maybe, and that's the thing, it's like 3 issues. Maybe he will find some way to contain himself. Who knows? Because those one shots of All Stars Batman that came out were pretty great. So he is better in shorter form. The 2 things that do interest me: 1, no restrictions. We haven't seen a Greg Capullo and Scott Snyder like do whatever they want. It's always been our DC label.
You don't think metal is whatever they want?
I mean, like violence-wise, swearing, whatever.
Right.
It's going to be whatever they want to do. So if we get a Batman, like a rated R Batman story from them, maybe that might be cool. I'm not sure. I do know they both are kind of like that, anyways. Like they wouldn't shy away from doing that kind of Batman story, especially Joker. Like Joker might be that kind of guy in this book. I'm not sure. So that interests me, and also like. It does it's also the curiosity factor. Like what is this? What is this? Like this story, like it doesn't make sense. So the plot can go 2 ways. It can be super convoluted, and I'll get to a point where I'm like, I don't really care. Or it can literally be a fun ride, like they're in the desert and just like 3 issues of them like having an adventure, like a Mad Max kind of thing. Like that movie is all one car chase. If they can do that, then I'm like, okay.
I think my only thing that I would really dislike is if they let Joker's bodiless head have conversation with them, other than it, unless it's Bruce, going insane and he talks to the head and the head's responding, that wouldn't bug me. But if literally this head is sentient and can have a conversation, and Bruce is like, well, I cut your head off a long time ago, you should be dead. Well, I'm not. That would piss me off.
Why?
What if in the end it was a decomposed head of the Joker and he's been crazy talking to it the whole time?
Yeah, and so then in the end that would be fine. There's something about Joker doesn't need to be invincible, and neither does Bruce. Who knows? Maybe this is a decrepit
But it's a plot
Bruce.
device. And that's what the thing is. You're like, well, this is so crazy. Like, why is this happening? Like, it's the point of the story. He is alive. It's here. Joker said it's alive in the jar, so he's going to be alive.
Oh well, I'm not going to get it.
Science.
Batman Damned from Brian Azzarello and Lee Prochimo. Is that his name?
Yeah.
Okay. On a deserted Gotham City bridge, a body is found. Whispers spread the news. Joker is dead. But is there a dream come true or a nightmare being born? Now, Batman and DC's outlaw magician, John Constantine, must hunt the truth through a Gotham City hellscape. The city's supernatural recesses are laced with hints about the killer's identity, but the Dark Knight's descent into horror will test his sanity and the limits of his rationality as he must face a horror that doesn't wear a mask. So Constantine and Batman find Joker's body dead, and they go on a detective to figure out who killed him. And Batman kind of is going crazy, being like, the Joker's like dead, and going through all this kind of supernatural shit. And he's like, so he's having a hard time coping with like, hey, my arch nemesis is dead. Meanwhile, all this crazy stuff is going, and John Constantine's kind of like, I think I saw Brian Azzarello said that Constantine's going to be like his psychiatrist and like help him through this and help him figure out who killed Joker. That actually sounds realistic.
That sounds
And
fun.
if you want a realistic Batman story, I think that's going to be it.
I think I'm just sick that this black label, it might as well just be called
Joker.
It should just be called Batman label.
Because there's only 2 Batman books.
Oh, that's the only 2? Okay.
Yeah, there's only 2.
I just think like there's too many people trying to tackle Batman.
I think that I don't know. I know Joker's a big deal, and I really did like the Joker a long time ago. He's just, to me, he's almost overused too much. And everything that's big and important is all Joker related. It's like there are other great characters in the Rogues
There's
Gallery
the
to use.
Superman picture.
Okay, that is pretty sick.
Yeah, it is shit. I agree.
Well, he's dead.
Who?
It's just
Superman or
Joker.
Oh, okay.
I do like the
if
fact
Superman's
that
dead, I'll get that book.
I do like the fact they're bringing in John Constantine. Like that one has the best plot I think out of the 3. Like I think an actual detective story, because that's what a lot of people miss. Like with Batman is like when he doesn't actually solve mysteries and crimes.
That's what I mean. It's like, how can he...
That
Face of
one,
horror
that
that doesn't
element,
wear
that
a
one
mask.
actually does interest me. That is the biggest
I'm at
thing
a
for me
4
in
for
Bruce
that.
is detective work.
Yeah.
I would agree with 4.
That one's a 4 for me, too.
Yeah.
That one's second on the list of this that I'll probably get, and I'll show you one here in a second. Here's the next one. By the way, when they announce this, right now, at least the Black Label, there's just Superman, Batman, and Wonder Woman books. There's going to be more later, but that's initially what the ones they're
Start the
focusing on.
Trinity.
So that makes sense, though.
Wonder Woman Historia, the Amazons from Kelly Sue DeConnick and Phil Jimenez, Phil Jimenez coming off his Superwoman run, and Kelly Sue DeConnick coming off of not putting out Bitch Planet. Right? When's the last time that book came out?
Well, the last time the actual series came out was a while ago. Sorry, probably over a year ago. I ate way too much food, and I feel uncomfortable.
I'm uncomfortable sitting across.
A Homeric epic of lost history of the Amazons and a Queen Hippolyta. How do you say her name? Hippolyta rise to power. Featuring monsters and myth, this 3-book saga spans history from the creation of the Amazons to the moment Steve Trevor washes up on the shores of Paradise Island, changing our world forever. So basically, it's the history of Wonder Woman to that point. It could be good or bad. I don't know. Like, for me, I'll start with this one here. 3.
I would say 3 too, because I think of like, Justice League and Wonder Woman the movie. Because I love that part in both those movies where they kind of like bridge history into the current what's happening. So I think it'd be cool to see like more Greek gods and things like that, like leading up to Diana interacting with Steve for the first time.
Okay, if even doesn't if I was gonna say 3/4 of it was just their past before even Steve shows up, great. But my fear is that about the first, he's gonna be in that last 2/3 of the book. I'm like, come on. No, I agree. Yeah, give me more character development on
only
these
3 issues.
Yeah, he's going to be in the last 2. I'm being pessimistic about these books because this is something new. I don't have that. Ooh, what could this be? Ooh, I'm super excited. I'm kind of that. Okay, you guys are kind of stepping into a different territory that I don't know what you're getting into, and that doesn't excite me. Yes, you can be rated R. Batman could rip someone's face off.
Creative freedom, Alex.
We'll see how freedom it is.
It doesn't have to necessarily mean that it's adult. Creative freedom.
Even bringing up Wonder Woman, though, I forgot to tell you guys, I read the first trade of Brian Azarel's run of Wonder Woman.
Oh, yeah?
Great.
Cliff Chang?
52. Really great.
Yeah.
The whole thing is good.
I'm excited to read more.
Here's the next one. Wonder Woman, Diana's Daughter. It's a working title. From Greg Rucka. It's been 20 years since the world stopped looking to the sky for hope, help, and inspiration. Now the world keeps its eyes down, and the powers have risen, have every intention of keeping it that way. Among the scattered and broken resistance, a young woman seeks to reclaim what has been forgotten, and on the way will learn the truth about herself, her heritage, and her destiny. So in the future 20 years, world's gone to shit. Girl finds out that she's going to stand up for the people, and she finds out that she's Wonder Woman's daughter. By Greg Rucka. There's no artist attached to this one yet, which I do hate when they do that, but Greg Rucka is going to be on the title Wonder Woman. What do you think?
I give the story a 4. The title, 0.5.
Working title.
Horrible title.
Working title.
Diana's Daughter. Cool.
No, Wonder Woman, Diana's daughter. Calm down.
Stupid.
I interested for the writing aspect, yes. I don't. I think maybe that's the thing is I'm not sure I'm sold on the title. Yes, it's a working title.
W2D2.
I'd be fine with that. That's
Wonder
cool.
Woman, Diana's daughter.
That would be cooler title. Just Wonder, and like have her symbol in it or something like super ominous that you don't even know most of the story, like because it'll be so heavily on like remembering her mother and things like that. Like something that would like not just like on the nose be like the story's about Wonder Woman's daughter. Like, okay. That's it? All right.
Yeah.
I think what you do is, and maybe that's the reason why it's just a working title, whatever you name this character, just name the book that. Like if her name is like, instead of Diana, her name's Diane, then you call the book Diane.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Oof. That's unfortunate that that's what they named her. Couldn't branch out anywhere else. Drop the A. Put an E there. Diane.
You know what I mean, though? Like, I understand, like, it is right on the nose, the Wonder Woman's daughter. It basically just tells you what the book's about.
Yeah.
But we all know that the daughter's probably going to be called Antiope, like her trainer.
What if the book's just called Amazon?
I could be fine with that.
That'd be all right. That mascara.
The last book on here is it's different than the other ones. The Other History of the DC Universe by John Ridley. I think he wrote 12 Years a Slave in the American Way. It is a different kind of book. It's a compelling literary series analyzing iconic DC moments and charting social political gains through the perspective of DC superheroes from traditionally disenfranchised groups, including Jon Stewart, Vixen, Supergirl, Katana, Ray Matoya, among others. At its core, the story focuses on the lives of those behind the costumes and their endeavors to overcome real-world issues It isn't all saving the world. It's about the strength to simply be who you are. I think that's more of a, what's the word I'm looking for? Nonfiction kind of like look at comics. So that one is actually going to be like a literary, like look at these characters and be like, what do they represent at the time when Jon Stewart when he came out, being DC's first black superhero, I believe, right?
Yep. I think he was created by Neil Adams.
And Renee Montoya, being one of the first mainstream lesbian characters that they had and all this kind of stuff. So it's more going to be about like, how do these people impact comics and how, like, I don't think it's really going to be like shit like a comic. It's going to be like Super Guys, Marvel Untold Story, like more about a history about comics. So that one actually does really interest me.
Wait for the trade.
Yeah, probably. I'd probably do what Garrett's going to do and just wait.
But I like every single book like that. Like did you finish Super Gods?
No.
Alex.
Too busy catching up on comics.
Super Gods, Marvel Untold Story, like those kind of books I devour. I love that kind of stuff. So that's like up my alley. Like learning about like the history of comics. How we started, how we get there. You can't look straight ahead if you don't know where you've been.
You can, but
no, you can't look. I go outside, I don't know where I'm going. You know why? How I know? Eyes to the back of my head. That's how you know.
Plus, you haven't been in sunlight for like 72 hours.
He burns. So.
I was looking all over the place all the time.
Let's that big yellow orb thing.
Rootsoftheswampthing.com, your definitive online source for all things Swamp Thing. Holland Files number 2 is out. Garrett, how is it?
Holland Files 2 was awesome. A lot of cool like images that you haven't got to see in Holland Files number 1. So definitely looking forward to finishing this bad boy. And
that's not the only thing. If you want to learn more about Swamp Thing, Alex, where would you go?
You're going to go to rootsoftheswampthing.com.
Make sure to stay in touch at rootsoftheswampthing.com on Twitter at DC World Swampy, Facebook.com/rootsoftheswampthing. Well, let's see. There's a lot of good comic books come out this week. Yeah, there's some that we each a little behind the scenes. We put out a list. We say, hey, read these books. The books we're going to talk about. We say, cool, we're going to do it. Turns out this week, two of us fucked up.
And one of us was perfect, and he was gone for a week.
Hey, don't blame us.
Don't lie.
It was cold up here, baby. You're down there getting all loose in the heat. That's why our brains are frozen up here.
To be fair, I have been binge reading all week long, waiting for my daughter's arrival. So I may have gotten confused on what books I put on the list for us to read. I screwed up.
Do you think maybe that the title of that book will be her name instead?
I bet it will be.
Diana? Is that her name?
Right on. Okay. That's what I'm going to name her.
Garrett.
Deadly Class number 32.
She's going to beat up all the time.
Recommender. Well, repeating history like I talked about. Deadly Class number 32 is Rick Remender, Wes Craig, and Justin Boyd. Actually, hold up. Wesley Craig. I know that's why he was solicited in this book. Nope. Wes Craig. Jordan Boyd, excuse me. This is the first part of Love Like Blood. We are starting right after the last issue, right? Second later. After where the last one ended. Good thing that book came out last month, so you know what happened. Not really. When did it come out, Alex? You remember?
I think it was November.
I'll say it's been a while.
November?
Before Christmas, at least.
5 months?
I think so.
Yeah, you're right.
Don't quote me.
I think so.
November or December.
I'm going to look it up here in a second, but what do you think of this book, Alex? It's been a little bit.
This was like jumping into the deep end of the pool, and there's a shitload of sharks. So weirdly enough, in this pool, I was not expecting nearly the amount of blood and ass kicking that took place.
It was amazing. I mean, Love Like Blood. I mean, I should have just been called Blood this arc. I mean, people are dying left and right, and you can understand. Like I read the letters column. Like why they needed that break after the last issue. Because the amount of detail that Wes Craig puts in this book, holy shit, there's some panels in here like of absolute bloodshed that I was like looking at for like 5 minutes. I think this book took me like 40 minutes to read just because it was so detailed.
The definite hero of this issue is Wes Craig and Jordan, Boyd. Looks great. The whole issue. There's some panels in here that look great. They're actually talk about Frank Miller in this book for a little bit.
Yeah, that's kind of cool.
And there's the 2-page spread, which I'm pretty sure is a direct homage to his Wolverine run. I can't verify that. It is over there. I could verify it in a second here, but we're reviewing a book. I don't get that kind of time. But I believe it. It's like believe in that his run. There's like a direct page that looks exactly like that. By the way, last issue came out in October.
Oh, so even earlier. Jeez.
I really did like it. Some of the dialogue felt a little off for me. I don't know why. There's some things. There's a lot of.
Were you like the opening?
No, there was too many references. Like the
Oh.
Frank Miller, and then you talk about movies, and there's a lot of song. Which, I mean, I know they do usually, but they usually do when they're like hanging out.
They're more subtle about not while they're in a fight.
They don't say during the fight like they're Deadpool or being like making little quips and stuff like that. I don't think it's ever been like that. So that was a little weird for me. It felt a little off, but Wes Craig's, like you said, they are in those panels when they're fighting. Great. So it really didn't bug me that much. The book really does, and I think a great thing about Deadly Class, and we've talked about before, pointing at Alex, Deadly Class, the thing about the art that's great is that the flow of it is very easy to read, and during action scenes, it definitely makes sense the way it flows. A lot of like the panel work that they do is directly related to like how the action's happening, so your eye will follow it naturally, rather than have to be like, okay, what do I read next? And it takes you out of the action. So it feels like a constant action scene in your head because the way the book's set up is so that your eyes never get lost and leave the page, which is great. I mean, like I said, the art, if I were just doing this book for art, 10 out of 10.
I really did enjoy the art. I don't remember. I guess I knew the Yakuza was showing up. I didn't expect the ridiculous amount of foot soldiers they had. Because holy shit, they're just in that hotel. All Marcus and Victor had come to an agreement, a deal, which I'm hoping that the next issue, hopefully Victor dies, but I don't want it to be one of those things where Victor gets that they say, keep building this thing up. Eventually, one of them needs to kill the other.
Well, that's what the cliffhanger of this issue is them about to like
Duke it out
on that boat. But I'm a little nervous that, like you said, they might drag it out and be like the girl will come in between and be like, "Don't fight right now."
Who I thought should have been dead.
Right.
Brandy should have been dead.
Yeah, she's just like bleeding out of her.
I've been
abdomen.
stabbed in the diaphragm. I'm okay. Give me a second. I'll pull it out.
Right. But the story, it does take kind of a change. Like he starts out with more of like a prose, like very descriptive. I
believe you're right. I think that is the Wolverine.
Yeah, this 2-page spread here. If you look inside of the comic, where the brown background here, I'm pretty sure it's a homage to this panel.
Okay, cool.
Wolverine,
but
because he's fighting the Hand and they're fighting the Yakuza. So
well, this is the first issue that we're back in Marcus's point of view. I think.
No,
because he said. I mean, first issue since year 2 or whatever. I think this is the first issue that's been from his point of view.
I don't think so.
Yeah, it's been third person.
I mean,
the last one was his point of view
It was
too.
Marcus's too.
When he's talking about when they're all having their orgies and whatever.
Yeah, the last one was
Okay.
just
When he's talking to Quan and he gets the knife out of his pocket.
Oh,
So I think
thought
that's the first one.
Fine, whatever. But it was kind of cool. Like I like how he said, "You're with me now." Like you're back in my head, like going over what he was thinking about. From when he got done with the culling until now.
Yeah.
It was about remembering Willie and whatnot, which I thought was cool. But then it kind of just like goes away. I'm like,
Jeez.
I get you got to remember who Willie is for him to hate Victor, but I think like there's a little more that could have been added in there to like flesh that out a little bit better. And there's like scenes in there like from year 1 that you're just like, what the fuck did that happen?
I don't remember.
I guess you can't show everything, but
like the Maria stuff was great.
Maria's a badass.
Yeah. I really enjoyed this issue. I would give it a 9. This wasn't a perfect 10 for me. There were things that just...
It was a 9, yeah.
There were things... I was excited for this issue to come out. The action-wise really fulfilled that status. The art is amazing. But there's just story holes for me. The Victor versus Marcus, when they decided to make that deal. I'm sorry, if I really hated somebody, I wouldn't make the deal to team up. Yeah. I get it's to save their lives. I understand that. But if your vendetta is that ridiculous and you really hate that person so much, you would kill their girlfriend just to spite them, you would never make that deal. And the amount of bullets that everybody seemed to have in their guns, I would have just shot Victor and then shot everybody else and still had enough ammo to move on.
I give this book an 8. Again, great issue. But I think the one thing that maybe I'm used to the tempo of how like Rick tells the story, like where you think something's predictable and like you're going to turn the page and you're going to get your ass handed to you. Yep. But I kept turning the page and I was like, oh.
I waited for the cliffhanger to be
one of them dying or someone betraying somebody or something.
Say, Saya shows up and stabs Victor in the back. Yeah. There's something I didn't expect the final, let's punch each other in the face.
Right.
So
yeah, I'll agree with that. It's very straightforward. And like I said, even with the dialogue, some of the dialogue's like very, and I think doing references like that, it's a little easy.
Yeah.
And I think maybe that's why it's in here. It does feel a little. It's still good,
Yeah,
but
it's still good.
it just feels a little not like this book.
Right.
Yeah, I'll
The
agree.
action definitely feels like the book, but in terms of like Garrett said, it's very straightforward. Which Deadly Class has never been really that straightforward. And then like the dialogue seems really like it feels like, Marcus and everybody else, they're part of this group because they're outcast and they don't go with the status quo and they like punk music, they like metal music, you know what I mean? And they wouldn't be making references like that. And maybe in their head, but they wouldn't be out loud being like, oh, this is like whatever. And it's like, I was just like, oh, like, when do these guys ever make pop culture? Like, they would make fun of people who do that.
And that's one thing too. Like when I even saw, like, I get he's a busy guy, but when Rick Remender didn't even do the letters column, like this is like the first issue I saw. I was like, really?
Yeah.
Like you've been gone for 5 months. You don't even say anything at the back of your book. Like,
And I don't know what else he's working on right now. I mean,
he's got a new Image book coming out.
Like I understand he's a busy guy, got a lot of books going on. When you make your book and it comes out before Christmas, obviously you're getting ready for the holidays. I understand that, but this is one of those books that I was expecting it to be a 10, and I mean a 9 isn't bad, but there's just, I think a part of it is that maybe the second year with the new students, they do seem like that kind of group that makes cliche jokes or cliche references. I don't know. At least for me, this shows that this book isn't the best book anymore for me. There's other books that I actually hold a little higher. It's great, but it isn't living up to the first year.
You know what I would say?
expectations.
I think, and at least the reason why I feel that way, it's still great, but it's still like, I feel like because it's been so delayed and so it comes out so sparingly that it feels like we've been in this situation for like a year and a half. Like this, like they found him in Mexico, almost a year and a half ago in terms of our timeline. But for them, yes, it's 5-6 issues ago, but 5 or 6 issues have come out in the last year and a half. So it's like, like how much story have I really gotten over that time? And I think that's the reason why, like, it feels stagnant, but it's not. Like if we read this in trade when it's all completed, we'd be like, man, this is so fast paced. But for us, it's just like, like they met in Mexico like a year and a half ago. Like, what's going on here? So, I mean, that's always the danger when you read issues. But if we're gonna give a rating, we have to rate it based on how we felt at the time. So
I read the issue, and that's what I rate as the issue.
Yeah, that's what we're doing. So it's a 9. I mean, it's still great. Like I said, I read this and was like, hey, I really enjoyed this. But like Alex said, it's not really in my mind being like it's one of my favorite books anymore. Just because I feel like we should really be more ahead at this point, and if it came out on a regular basis, we would be.
Right?
That's why.
I agree. We've got, Detective Comics number 976, written by James Tynion IV, and Javier Fernandez did the art with John Calise on colors.
This detective, right? You said?
Yes, Detective Comics.
Hey, so I think this is Javier's first issue of a detective, if I'm talking correctly. He used to do Nightwing.
No, he's done some detective.
Has he?
He's filled in for Barrels before.
Oh, I thought it was somebody else. It was... Well, anyways, the book looked great.
Yeah.
I really do like that kind of style. It's kind of rough pencils. But I thought the whole time I was reading, even like panel work, I was really impressed for Detective Comics. I mean, we've had some great arts in Detective from the beginning of Rebirth, but when I was reading this, I was like, I think Javier should be the main guy in this book.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, if Barrels can't do it, not saying that he's a great artist, he did that cover, you can see right there, but man, it would be... Yeah, it'd be good to have a regular artist consistently on a book.
Well, this is one of those, I don't even know who I think it looks like.
Oh, I do have a problem. When Cassandra first shows up, she's got some baggy ass pants.
It looks like she's MC Hammer.
Yeah, I know. And then you turn you go to the next panel and they're like tied up against her legs and like, what is the style we're going for here?
This is the 80s style.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Those shoes are super tight.
Right.
But her pants are parachute pants. Then you're right. The next one I really like this issue though. It was I was giving you crap, Garrett, that Detective's really not going to pick it up, and they really have.
Yeah.
The that final spot with what Batwoman does to Clayface, amazing,
crazy.
Yes, and to see that Bruce is concerned about the team and what they've gone through now is a really good character aspect for him. normally we're like, oh, all these other characters, they're so strong, they don't need to be supported. Cassandra's struggling, and Bruce is questioning what Tim has done and how Tim feels about this thing, that Bruce wants to end the night protocol, and Tim's like, well, it had a mess up. We can fix this. No, we're not doing this shit anymore.
At least from what I can see, this is Javier's first issue.
Really?
Ferreira used to do it. Ferreira used to do it.
Oh, Ferreira, that could be it.
You know what I really do like about this issue at the beginning, when he's having that talk with the psychiatrist after she talks to Cassandra?
Leslie?
And, yeah. And I don't know names.
Tompkins?
How long of the show you know, and I don't know names. I barely know Bruce.
We're lucky he knows us.
Yeah, that's true.
And they're talking about, and she's like, you really do need to get her help. Like, this is really messing her up. And he's like, I don't got time. And she's like, well, you don't got time. It's either you do it now or later you're going to be picking up the pieces. She's like, you made time for all the Robins and got them help them through everything. And I thought that was really insightful, being like, yeah, like what's, like he's cared for every single Robin and be like, I'm going to help you through this. And even he adopted like Dick Grayson and be like, I'm going to help you through this. I'm going to take care of you. Every single Robin, he's like, I'm going to take care of you and make sure you get through this. And like Cassandra, for some reason, he's just like, yeah, whatever. I got time for that. And really to show you, like, it is a different kind of Bruce that I think we've seen. And I don't know, it's maybe because he sees her as already lost and he can't save her. And he doesn't really have time to like put that investment in it. But I thought that's really unique about, he's usually the guy like, I got to save this person, like all his Robins.
Yeah.
And for once, he's like, not this one though. And you can tell, like, by doing all this stuff, she's really, really messed up. And I think the one of the plot lines I like in this book right now is like, how's she gonna get help? And like we saw what happened with Clayface, all this stuff's happened to her. Like, she's really lost. Like, who's gonna be the person to save her and figure out where she's gonna go? So I think it's really unique, just because before that was Bruce. Bruce was always that guy, and like Alex was saying, he's really concerned about for everybody. Like, he talks about the end. Tim, what does he yells at Tim? What does he say? He goes, Tim goes, look it up real quick. But he yells at Tim, saying that he actually does care. And it's very weird, because it feels like at that point, maybe it's more of a power move than actually caring. Because he's like, Tim, so when he was in here, he's like calling out Tim from being in his lab and like looking all this stuff up, trying to fix the program.
Right.
And be like, no, I'm trying to keep you safe. And it's like, but if you really do care, like he says, I care about you guys, then why is he not caring about Cassandra?
Well, I think he does care about Cassandra, but he just doesn't know what to do. Like, you can see when she's talking to Leslie, which I thought was a great tool by Fernandez. Like, you see Cassandra's response to what Leslie's asking her. She asks her about like how she's feeling inside, and then she's like, I can't remember, it's like dark or whatever. And you just see Bruce just hovering over the back computer, just like, I don't know what to do. And I thought, that's the strongest piece of art I've seen that whole issue.
No, I understand. Like, that's what I mean. Like, the only thing he knows how to do is control people and tell them what to do. So that's why Tim, he's like, I'm going to.
Well, this is what he goes. So he tells Tim wants to keep working on the night protocol. And Bruce goes, Tim, I am not interested in restarting the night protocol. I will continue to provide assistance to the family as needed and loop you all in when I need you. But this team isn't feasible right now. And so obviously Tim freaks out at him. And then Bruce even admits, I should have gotten you help. From when he came back from Mr. Oz's.
Right. He didn't even like debrief him or try to like, he just went,
he just let him get back to work. Thing.
What do you guys think about Batwoman's team? The colony, basically, with Azrael and Batwing.
Oh, here's actually, before you go into that, this is what I was talking about. He says, Tim goes, well, I don't care what happens to me. And Bruce turns around and goes, well, I do, damn it. And it's like, he like snaps in that point, being like, and I think it actually comes out of what Garrett was saying. He is a little frustrated, being like, I don't know how to fix this. The only thing he knows how to do is be like you said, I don't need this program. I don't need to fix this program right now. Yeah. When I need you guys, I'll let you guys know. Like, the only thing he knows how to do is control and be that guy who's like the mysterious brooding guy and be like, I'll tell you when I need you. Rather than being like Tim and Cassandra, all those people really need him not to be Batman at this point, need him to be Bruce Wayne and like talk to him, but he doesn't know how to do that.
Yeah.
So he is just feel lost in a way.
I will admit, in Detective Comics, I've never seen Batman be Bruce Wayne. I think he's always in costume. So I can understand. He's never had a chance just to unwind and actually talk to everybody as their non-hero versions.
Instead of being their leader, he's, if you've never seen him, be their father.
Yeah.
What you're talking about, Batwoman and that grouping with
Azrael and Batwing.
Batwing. I think that's really cool. At the end when they talk to the General Kane, and he's like, "Hey," or he pitches to Batwoman. Batwoman's like, "Hey, by the way, I didn't tell you guys, but if you guys want to, we can do this. We're going to be like a world police in a way. We're going to stop things and bring peace to the world. And Bruce Wayne can keep his Gotham and take care of Gotham." And they both were like, "Okay, let's do it." And I think that actually kind of like, in a way, is not paying homage, but it's still in a way like
Kind of mocks.
kind of like Batman Incorporated. That was Batman's idea at first. Like,
Right.
I got to protect the world. And now they're being like, "Oh, we're going to protect the world. And Bruce can take care of Gotham himself." I mean, which is like, after they're military people, that's what they're thinking about. So it's cool. I think
Civil
we'll
War.
see. The only
That's what I
thing,
thought of.
the only thing that not bothers me, but worries me, and they've been good about it so far in Rebirth overall. But we know James Tynion's leaving this book.
Right.
Who's taking it over? Do you remember? That's the thing I was
I
going to
remember.
Somebody's taking it over. Are these plot lines going to just drop flat, or am I going to see this World Police Batman team?
I'm guessing you're not.
Let me look it up real quick.
I'm assuming that, and assuming obviously makes an ass out of you and me, mostly me, that you're not going to get these plot lines to continue as someone takes over this book. There's a point at taking another story. You're never going to know what that first person had planned. Even if you talk to them, there's always going to be that subtle things that you're going to miss. Who is it?
It's just rumors right now, actually. They haven't announced it. Pedro de Tomasi, they think, is taking over the book.
That would actually be really great.
Which, I mean, he's good, but like, is he going to keep going with Tynion storylines, or is he going to want to do his own thing?
I'm sure Tynion's going to wrap up his storyline before he leaves. That kind of seems to be the thing before you move on to another
The rumor is that he'll leave around the time, because he's going to be helping out Justice League. It's going to be Scott Snyder and Tynion on Justice League. So that he would wrap up around that time, which is May, June, which would be in 2 months. 3 months.
So maybe
So
6 issues.
6 issues, yeah.
That's plenty I think, to do it.
Yeah.
But this next arc here is what, Batman Eternal or the Batman Eternal.
Yeah.
So
It's
does that
part one
would
of
end up
6.
being bringing back the team of 6.
Could be.
So
Oh, you know what? I think you might be, because they did actually release James Tynion already. It's not a rumor that he's leaving. The rumor is that who's taking over the book, because they already released a solicit for his last issue, and the cover is the same exact cover as the first one. You know, when that had that rock that said Detective Comics, and they were all standing on it. I believe it's just Batman, maybe,
That'd be sick.
and Detective Comics is all crumbled. So it might be him trying to bring the team together and realizing that they want nothing to do with him, or like maybe they will become a team except for him. We'll see.
Wow, that'd be cool.
But I really did like this. Actually, this was probably my favorite book this week. No, that's high praise. It was really great though. Like you said, I wasn't really expecting out a detective, so it was like a high 9. Good.
I'd give it a 9. This is good.
I'm at an 8 for it.
Garrett, what's up? I'm giving
Nothing.
I'm giving better grades than you are.
I know, but I think it was a great book. There was just some things I was like, okay, I need to know more, and I didn't think it was like on its own a perfect issue.
Are you doing 2 and 1?
Huh?
We're not talking 2 and 1?
No, we are,
Okay.
but I'm not going to talk about that right now.
No, just
All right, what I am going to talk about is Dry County #1, which is written by Rich Tommaso.
he does the art.
Where's the credits? It must be all him.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. Right. He does the art and he writes. It's a Lou Rossi comic. I'm sure it's the first of its kind. Right? Because this is all brand new. Character hasn't existed before.
Correct.
Yeah. So it's a detective story set in the 70s or 80s, I think.
80s.
80s?
So I think in that first page.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know.
Miami 80s. If you listen to the forecast,
Miami
I
Vice.
said it's Miami Vice, baby.
It doesn't say it. It says Miami Nightlife.
No, that's a show. Miami Vice is a TV show.
Oh, sorry. I wasn't 16 when that came out.
Neither of us were alive when that really came out.
What did you guys think about this book?
When did it come out? 86?
He was 9.
Baby.
I watched it. It was on Netflix. It's pretty good. Bruce Willis.
Are you
is
talking
like
about the one
first
with
season.
what's his face?
No.
Colin Farrell.
Not the
Get out of
movie.
here. Get out of here. Michael Mann.
Jamie Foxx.
Dry County tells a story of... You sure that person... Oh, you're right. Lou. So it tells a story about this guy who, in his apartment building, goes down and do his laundry. Some girl down there. He's like, hey, I've never seen this girl before.
Well, you're super fine.
he starts doing laundry and they start chatting it up. And he said the flow goes good. They get very interested in each other. And there's only one dryer, says, hey, let's dry our clothes together. We both need it right now. So while our clothes are drying together, they get to know each other. And she gives them her card and says, hey, let's meet up for lunch sometime. And then you can tell. So, like, the thing with this character that I like is, by the way, overall, this comic, let me just say first, it's not what I expected at all.
No, like you said, it's a detective. There's nothing detective about this.
Not
book
in the
yet.
first issue, at least.
Says the Everyman crime series.
The
It
art-
doesn't say detective, it says crime.
The art style and the writing, everything is, it reminds me a lot of like a low key kind of like Scott Pilgrim, like, or like those kind of books, or even like the book that I read, Giant Days, which is just about people and situations. It's not really about anything crazy. Nothing really crazy happens in this book. It's just about this guy, like, he meets a girl and he finds out that she's in a relationship which really doesn't like, wants to get out of. And he really likes her. She really likes him. And so, like, how are they going to figure it out? But what was the same before I interrupted myself?
Lou.
So, oh yeah, that's the thing I like about this character is that, you know, most of the book, there's not a lot of actually comic dialogue in this book. A lot of it is just prose, and there's like long like paragraphs of text associated with art.
On notebook paper, which
On
is
notebook
really
paper,
cool.
so he's doing like a
Legal pad, I guess.
journal.
legal pad. He's doing like a journal, but there's a lot of things where it's kind of like a normal person. You know what I mean? Like he's not sure of himself. He definitely puts on a front for certain different people, and he kind of evolves and changes to whoever's around him. Like when he gets her number, he said, "Hey, my friends always told me you can't call the next day, or can't call right away. You act like you're desperate. I gotta wait a week." And he's like, "Well, I can only wait 2 days." And then I called her, and then she was really into it. And so, like, you see him. Like, the thing I like about it is that this confidence that he doesn't have, and then at the end of the comic, we see when he hears, like, he eats his food and he gets sick and he gets drunk and he wakes up and he starts throwing up, right? And it made me laugh. He's throwing up, and it shouldn't make, I don't know what made me laugh about it. I think it's just because he's throwing up and he hears the girlfriend and the boyfriend fighting on the roof. And he's like, "Oh, I got to get up there." And he tries to get up there and he keeps throwing up. And he's like, "Man," he's like, "I really got to get up there." And he keeps throwing up. But then, like I said, like at the beginning of this one, he was so scared to call her. And then by the end of this issue, like he likes her so much that there's a build of confidence that he's like, "I'm going to go stop. I have to go stop this. Like, I need to go, like, be brave about this." When at the beginning of the comic, you couldn't even call her.
Yeah.
So, like, over a course of an issue already, I see this character, like, because if you read this issue, you might be like, how's the guy going to be a detective? Like, how's he going to look into this crime?
He's kind of.
And over the issue, you kind of see him, like, already building his confidence, being like, "Oh, this girl, like, really likes me," or like, "We're really into each other." There's a point in time when she first tells him about her boyfriend and he wants to leave, where he's kind of not sure of himself. That's when he gets super drunk. And that's why he gets super drunk. But I think it's him hanging out with his friend and realizing, being like, "Man, I really, like, I got to give this a shot." And those are really things, like, in comics especially, I don't think this book is, like, going to be super popular. But I really do like getting these kind of books that are just about, like, people. It's really good.
It made me want to get Spy Seal.
Yeah, I really like the art style. I think that it's, like, obviously original to its creator, Rich Tommaso. I really like the detail and, like, the shadow work. It reminds you of that. Like, it looks like Miami, to be
Even
honest.
design, look at that cover. The design.
I do, the cover, immaculate. I love this cover.
Yeah, that's one of those covers you hang up.
And I was kind of noticing, like, a lot of the times in the background there's a plane. I'm like, that'd be cool if that was kind of like throughout the whole series you'd see a plane a lot. I don't know if that's like a thing that he's trying to force. Or
You're right, though, Alex. I think if staple of, like, how much I enjoy this, which is, weird, because I think if somebody would have told me what this is about, I wouldn't read this book. It was that pitch about it being in Miami and about a detective, maybe being like, I gotta get this book. But then you read this issue and you're like, is this really what that thing said? And it really isn't. But I did like the journey throughout this issue. But you're right, though. When I got to the end, and there's a 2-page ad for him, the books he's done, I looked at it and was like, hey, maybe this book, I actually do like his kind of style, and even like dialogue wise. And there's, even though like you were just talking about, the art's kind of great, this man is a great writer. Like when I'm reading that dialogue, none of it sounds fake. And I think that's what I'm trying to say about this confidence thing. None of it sounds fake. It's all earned by the end of the comic, it feels like when he gets to the top, I don't feel like, oh, that's a change of character. The guy couldn't even call him. I feel like, man, this guy's grown. Like, I feel like it's a person. He's like learning and evolving. And that's what I need in an issue to, by the end being like, oh, okay, I can see why now when something's going to happen to her and she goes missing, that's why he goes after her. Because when you read or watch a movie where that kind of storyline happens and this quirky guy decides to do something, you never see that change and get that confidence. They all of a sudden just decide to do it. And you're always like,
right.
This guy, he's still scared looking for this girl and it's like, he's not really I don't see that guy really doing that. But this now, at the end of this comic, I'm like, okay, I kind of see where they're going with this and actually just feel like it's a real person that has evolved as a person and not just that he's going to decide for the plot purposes to be like, oh yeah, he's going to become a detective too.
Yeah.
No. What does he actually do for his job? I forgot.
He's a cartoonist.
Cartoonist, that's right. Which is also kind of great. Like this guy, he does satire cartoons, and we'll see him turn into a detective, which might be a little self-reflection for this writer. But that's the whole thing. When I was reading the prose and everything like that, I was like, this guy writes pretty great. Like it flows, and then I actually enjoy reading him talking about mundane stuff, like about getting drunk and all this kind of stuff. It was weird.
And that's cool, letting the art help tell the story without the text getting in the way and the bubbles, and that was really cool.
That was something I really enjoyed too, because like you said, there's a couple of bubbles, but not really.
Right.
And mostly it is like he'll tell you in the text what's happening, and then they're more just to emphasize like certain moments, like people yelling or something like that. I really did like it. It was a huge surprise.
Yeah,
huge surprise because first off, surprise in a way, like I said, I thought it was about something else, but then too, like when I started reading it, I was like, oh, I actually do enjoy what this is about. So it's good. I guess maybe we'll see him actually become a detective and get into it. But as a first issue, did enjoy it.
I wonder if on the back of this cover, there's a address for Lou. That makes me wonder if that's like a legitimate address.
You want to send him a letter?
Send him a letter.
Like a postcard. Return. Oh, it says return to sender.
I think I'd give this issue actually a 9. I enjoyed it enough that I was like, I'm going to give issue 2 another chance because it's kind of like that Royal City for me where it's not about anything spectacular. It's just a people book, and that's kind of fun to read.
I'm actually sticking on the A train so far. I think it was a really great book, and I think, again, I need more. Based off the first issue, I definitely want to read issue 2. But you're right. I was kind of like trying to hunt for what like the story's going to be about, and like without reading the solicit, we really wouldn't know what the hell's going on. So
this would be, and not to say that in the medium that it is, it's not great, or to say, hey man, this should be. But as a TV show, like this was like a 8-issue or an 8-episode TV show by like Judd Apatow, like kind of like a Netflix like Love Is and stuff like that.
Right.
I would not be surprised if this was that. That's kind of like, so if you're listening to this and you're like, I'm not really sure what they're talking about, like what kind of book is this? It really is like a comedy, but it's a comedy about like this guy trying to find someone he likes. You know what it actually is a lot like, and I don't know if you guys have seen. You ever see Punch Drunk Love?
I've heard of it.
Oh yeah, I've seen it.
It really is like Punch Drunk Love because the same thing happens, kind of. Not the same thing. I mean, obviously, I'm not saying it's one for one the same, but it really is kind of like that kind of story. So if you do like Punch Drunk Love, try County number 1. Mr. Miracle, number 7. This is Tom King, Mitch Gerads. And Alex, you didn't read this?
Nope.
This was number 1 of the fuck-ups.
I messed up.
However, you should have read this because you know what this issue is about.
Babies.
Pregnancy. Mr. Miracle, a whole issue about them delivering a baby.
Yeah. A new god.
Most of the issue, I would say about half it, Garrett, correct me if I'm wrong, is them just waiting for the baby. Which you're
I think even
currently
more than that.
More than that, probably 3/4.
Yeah. Big time.
Just them waiting for the baby.
So much anticipation going in it. Like, you know how they do the 9-panel grids, the whole thing. Like, holy cow. Like, each time you turn the page, you're like, what's going to happen next? And it's just like so much there's anxiety and dread and like hopefulness.
There's like 4 pages of him in the hospital room, her hooked up to the monitor to monitor the baby. And it just going beep, beep, and then him just like sitting there, and they'd be like, they're trying to figure out what to name it, the kid, and they're going through names, and them just being like, and then her being like, they said I could have ice chips. I think I can get, you want to give me ice chips? And he goes, yeah, I can do ice chips. But I mean, it's just them having a kid. It's like a whole, and then also people from the, on the cover you'll see from Granny Goodness's family come to the hospital like,
Furies.
hey, we're here. This is the first kid we've had in forever. We can't wait to see the kid. He's like, we're on the opposite side of the ward. Like, and they even said, they go, when this is all over, there's a knife that she brings. She goes, you're going to need this because the only thing that's going to be able to slice through her skin if you need to do it for like a C-section. And he goes, okay. So he takes it and she goes, by the way, when this is over, I'm going to need that back because I'm going to kill you with that. It's like, it's this weird thing. It's this weird thing. Oh, right during this?
Well, so if you hear it vibrating, it's my phone. I'm just in case I get a call.
Alex is on Baby Watch 2018. That is, we got on the wall. Time's counting down. It's just that there's no numbers, so we don't know what's gonna happen. So she hands him a knife, and he's like, you're gonna need this because it's the only thing that pierces the skin. And he goes, by the way, I'm gonna need that back because I'm gonna kill you with it one day. And it's just like, what the? It's this weird kind of issue, and I enjoyed it a lot. Is them having a kid. Like kind of like the last issue was them talking about having a kid, but also that issue they were fighting these people while it's going on, and then this issue you have this kind of weird family that shows up, and they really don't like each other. So in a way, maybe it's like an allegory of being like, the in-laws they don't really don't like him, and maybe they're not gonna actually kill him, but they're just there and they don't like this guy.
Is Barda a Fury as well, or was a Fury?
She was a Fury, yeah.
Okay, okay.
Well, she was raised by Granny Goodness, and so was Scott, but like more as like a bastard than anything.
You know what's good about Garrett's art, Garrett, I think, is that when she actually starts pushing for the baby, right? Oh, by the way, 6 inches dilated or 6 centimeters. I think that's when the baby comes. So keep that in mind. When she actually starts pushing for the baby, Garrett's does not hold back to be like, this is not a pretty moment.
Right.
This is not going to be pretty. By the way, that's why I say, get ready. Read this. This is not a pretty
Tomorrow morning I'll wake up. Oh.
Like even her, like, if you look at this bottom middle panel, like her the faces that she kind of makes in this, you're kind of like, she's not having a good time either. Yeah, right? Like, and even him, there's some panels, like if you look at this bottom right one here, he's like very tired. He's like, he's been there all day. And I really do think like,
this could literally not be about Miracle Man.
I know, that's what I was thinking.
Be a normal pregnancy.
It's just an issue where somebody has a kid. And I think it might be the best issue of a comic I've seen where somebody gives birth to a kid. Because usually it's quick.
I've never seen anything like this before.
In movies, everything, like any kind of media, it happens quick, right?
Yeah.
They get over it because they don't want to show that part.
Except Rocky 2.
This shows you, and what really is part of it is like my situation was different. But I sat around a hospital for 2 days while we figured out what was going to go on. And it really is, you do see him be like, sitting there like, he's preoccupied himself with like, what do we name this kid? Instead of, because he's so worried about it. He's so like, what's going to happen? I'm not sure what's going to happen. And there is a complication. I won't say what it is because I don't want to spoil the whole thing for you.
What? That's a big point though about the book.
Yeah, true. I mean, but there's nothing really like, it's not going to change my review by saying that.
Take my ears off.
No, I don't. There's nothing really to bring it up about.
Well, I think the last 3 pages about that thing. Okay, don't do that because then people are going to hear you do that. So basically, obviously,
huh? You want me to play Miley Cyrus in yours? Just kidding.
But basically, there's a part where the child is born.
Yeah.
Okay, I can say that obviously. But as soon as the child's born, you kind of get that. What is it called? The static. Meaning that Darkseid's watching. So I mean,
he must be watching on an old tube TV. That shit goes shaky,
right? But it only started happening once the child was out of Big Barda, and you obviously see the Darkseid is panel, and then
it happens another time too when they're trying to figure out the name,
right? And
they say like this one name, I forgot what it was, but it's like from his side of the family, and it kind of shakes. And you think that's him hitting the TV?
No, I mean that's obviously better. I think that's him meaning he was planning for this baby to come out. Originally
Rosemary's Baby. Man.
I won't say the part that you were going to spoil for him, but there was going to be a different plan, but then they kind of went around that. And then
you think he's the reason why that happened?
Yeah, 100%. Because that's where the static happens.
Oh, you know what made me laugh is how each of these end with kind of like an old cartoon, kind of like Batman 66, how they all ended with how will they get out of this? How will Mr. Miracle? And those are actually actual taglines from Jack Kirby's run of Mr. Miracle. how they ended. But the context obviously is different for this book than it was from there. So you have things being like, think of the most ferocious, mind-shattering fight that has ever taken place, and it will fall pitfully. Oh yeah, it will fall pitfully short of what awaits our Mr. Miracle. And the panels they show you is the kid sitting there, and then by the end, it's like, only scot-free has a chance to survive the battle of the Ed, and then the baby cries. Like, it's like telling you this, how's he going to get fucking out of this? Will he survive? And it's like talking about him having a kid, and the kid's crying now. And it's, but in Jack Kirby's run, it was like him, actually in peril. But now he's in a different kind of peril. Who knows? This kid here, I'm not going to tell you his name. That's a spoiler also. But I actually do like that name a lot.
Yeah, and I just know that Darkseid's got some eyes on this kid.
Yeah,
he's got some kind of machinations with this kid.
This was 10.
10, 100%.
I love
0
this.
right now.
You're going to love this issue. I hope you do.
It's so good.
This is the thing we talked about in the forecast. Was like, I don't think you can go and be like, hey, pick a number 7. Like, this is going to be nothing to somebody jumping in right now. I wouldn't even recommend it, especially if this is only 12 issues. But if you've been along for the ride and there was a plan break between 6 and 7, nice plan break. Because the last one was them, because obviously time has passed. She announced she was pregnant in 6. 7, they have a kid, so obviously time has passed.
Right.
So it makes sense that way. The reason why they broke it up this way, and like you said, I think Tom King. What did he say? He said the second part was way darker than the first part. So I think you might be right about Darkseid having some plans. So
this book could almost be called Mr. Miracle and Big Barda, only for the fact that like this book literally has been about them too, not just him. I mean, it is a huge focus on him, but. That parallel thing where they're having conversations as they're doing these issues. Like, I thought this issue paralleled very much so to the last issue when they're going to find Orion and whatnot. Yeah. Just kind of like with the communication and whatnot. Like, I think that it's fun each issue that, there's like a through line, but you can just see these people having a normal conversation too, which is really cool.
Alex?
Sorry, I'm just getting over the fact I haven't read. I'm so mad that I didn't read this issue.
I'm mad at you.
That I screwed up and read Sideways, which was whatever.
You messed up. I don't know how you messed up.
I'm the one who makes the list.
I messed up because I just misread and missed the book on the list.
Yeah. Did you not get Doc Strange?
I did. I got it digitally. Though.
Okay. So we got Doc Strange. I don't remember what number it is. 387, written by Donnie Cates and art by Nico Henriksen. I'm looking at this cover. I love these Las Vegas covers.
Yeah, they're cool.
They're just trippy. It's
the
awesome.
internal art is actually pretty great too. I do like Walter a lot, but I like this guy's style too. So it's not even like I'm missing that.
I almost didn't. I noticed, yes, but this book looked really good.
I was thinking when I was reading this issue, I was like, if we got to lose Walter, and I love the guy. Nico's not that bad.
Nope.
So I read it like it's like maybe I'm not sure if he's only on for the Damnation run. But I was like, can he stick around? Oh, obviously, Donnie Cates is going to be done. So, but I wonder if the Damnation run is going to be the last thing Donnie Cates does on Doctor Strange.
I would think so.
Yeah, maybe.
Probably.
Okay, well, it's good.
It's supposed to last until May.
Oh, okay, then yeah, it will be.
Yeah.
Donnie Cates, not Donnie Cates, Nico, great art. There's some great 2-page splashes in here. The way the panels are set up. I was reading this book and I was like, I don't know if I've ever seen this guy before. I think I remember the name Nico. But it's pretty great.
There's something that normally would be like a standout part of this book where obviously Doc Strange had been, is it called hobble? No, just got his shins broken.
You hobble that way, yeah.
That's
what happens to
in
spoilers,
Misery, right?
yeah.
Okay.
They hobble her.
So,
or she hobbles him.
He essentially gets
You ever had that peach hobbler?
Oh, it's the worst.
Okay.
Did you guys read Damnation 2 before this?
Yes.
Yeah.
Was it needed? Because I haven't read 2 yet.
Wait a second. Damnation 2.
Yeah.
Damnation 2 came out?
Yes.
It runs concurrently with it.
There's a character that's shown in Damnation 2. I don't, as long as you know that his legs got broken, no, not really.
Right.
I didn't read Damnation 2. I didn't even know it came out.
Which that was kind of the
Last
cliffhanger of the last issue where his legs were about to get hobbled. So
of issue 1.
right.
Yes.
Yeah,
yes.
so I assume that it just happened.
I don't even remember what happened in issue 2. It's more Wong setting up the team to come together.
Okay.
Wait, did we talk about Damnation on the show, too?
1 we did. No, because it was when he's going to get Iron Fist, he's going to get
Man, my mind's
Bloodstone.
Blown so much that I missed that issue.
So anyway, no, you didn't need to read it. I forgot what I was telling you about. Oh, there's like the obvious thing that was going to happen was I was like, when is he going to fight these other people? Because you know he's going to fight the bad guys. So I keep waiting for him. He meets up with the team. Loki and what's her face, Scarlet Witch show up. Who's the first girl? Clea.
I think that's
his old girlfriend.
Yeah,
she died.
Okay, she's not the human girl from like the movie, right?
I don't believe. No.
She's another magical person.
There's some. I think it's 70s or 80s run with. Gosh, you did the art for that. But anyways, in old Doctor Strange, they were together.
Okay, so the old girlfriend comes and she goes, look into my eyes. I'm the real person. Oh, okay. Yeah, I believe that. Then in comes Scarlet Witch and Loki. I'm like, oh, what the hell are you guys doing? Okay, cool. That makes sense. So then they're trying to escape and they jump out the window and they're fighting all these demons. I was like, well, where the hell are the Avengers at? The bad guy Avengers. And so then they, of course, they're coming up to fight. Okay, good. Makes sense. Then you go to an aside where Clea goes to talk to Mephisto. Mephisto's like, I love a good show. Way to go, you sold it. Even did that look into my eyes. Perfect. Turns out that the glare of... Is it supposed to be the Ghost Rider has a glare?
Right.
Or that subdued him and made him think that he sees her, right? So you know who he's fighting? The good guys.
Well, and then Clea was also Captain Marvel.
Yeah, it was Captain Marvel
the Ghost Rider.
being subbed. Yeah.
Right. So... And I think that was cool too. Like, he knows these characters like Scarlet Witch and Loki so much that Clea's using that Mephisto to like screw with him. Because like even I thought Loki, his scenes in the book, like I thought like Loki. That seemed like Loki. I was like, Loki's being a giant dick right now. Mm-hmm. Like that was good writing. I think I laughed quite a bit when Loki was talking. He's like, I told you this was going to happen, Steven. And then like the one part where I was like, how does Doctor Strange not beat the shit out of you? Is when he's like, how's Bats doing? I was like, ooh, fuck you, man. So.
Yeah, I really do like the writing too. Getting into this, and like Garrett said, there's a lot of moments of comedy, and I don't know why, but in my head, I think maybe it's because I'm flashing back to Jason Aaron's run when he was like super comedic, Doctor Strange, and he really isn't in this book. Not as much. He's still like funny, but he's not like every line's a joke. He's definitely not Brian Michael Bendis, Doctor Strange, where he was we remember that. So, Civil War 2. But was it Civil War 2? Yeah.
I don't remember.
But every single line like of the comedy, like Garrett said, actually was funny, made me laugh, and didn't make me cringe being like, ooh, somebody's trying to be funny. It was like, Donny Cates is funny. That's what I was just reading this. Like, oh, he does know how to input humor in this comic that they don't feel like the character is being told to tell a joke. I actually just feel like that character is telling a joke. You know what I mean? Instead of being like...
Seems natural for the character to say it.
You know what? It's something that I'm going to have to make a confession, because I think I actually said it at this show too. When we were like reading these, I'm like, man, this is fun. I mean, really not that important, but it is a fun comic. I think that's in a way, in my head, rationalizing being like, it's just like not. It's like comics. You know what I mean? But it doesn't mean that it's not important. I mean, not like you shouldn't read it. And I feel like in a way I'm dismissing it, being like, oh yeah, it's really like, somebody asked me also, was like, oh, how's that run going? And I was like, well, it's pretty fun. Like if you want to read just like a fun story, but it really is like, if we're talking about like what's coming out right now in Marvel, especially, like it really is one of the great storylines going on right now. Yep. And it really is like, yes, it's fun, but like, isn't that what comics is? Like,
well, so you should be enjoying what we're reading.
Right.
So
Alex,
even though it's some like side story about Vegas and Mephisto, like trying to reclaim Vegas and how these characters evolve, and it really doesn't mean anything. What does that mean though? Like it's still a great arc so far. And I think I'm very surprised, because I expected not to like any of this. Like I think I even said in the show before, oh yeah, I'll read that first Damnation issue, but I don't think I'm going to get into that.
I think the nice thing for me, at least with Damnation, is yes, it is unfortunate it's a tie-in. I mean, other books are tying into it, but in all honesty, as long as you get in the Doctor Strange book, you're getting the whole story. Because I'm not going to get the Iron Fist. I'm not going to get the
Ghost Rider.
The thing is,
if there's a Ghost Rider one, I would. I didn't think Ghost Rider has a book.
He's gonna have his own series spin out of it.
Out of this, yeah. No, I'll get that, but there's another tie-in to it. Scarlet Spider has one.
Oh yeah, there's a bunch of them.
And I was like, I'm not gonna get the other ones. I don't care. Right. But
this thing though, Damnation's been good. I also didn't read issue 2. I forgot about it. But Doctor Strange also, which would, in a way, we could say, hey, it's a side book. You all have to read the main story. Doctor Strange's been really good.
Yeah.
Like the 2 issues that we've had of it so far, of the tie-ins, actually were pretty good Doctor Strange standalone issues. And you could, if you wanted to, literally just read those 2 issues and not get the animation book. I mean, I think you're missing out a little bit, but it really do, especially the last issue, really do catch you up on what the story's involved with. And I don't think you really miss anything. Like, obviously, I didn't read issue 2 of animation. I felt fine. This issue was great.
Yeah.
And I had fun with the great art. And like you said, it was funny, but also in a way was like when you find out those kind of twists and stuff going on, it really is in a way like kind of exciting me. Like, man, this is pretty good.
I think for me, this book, it just felt satisfying because there was when I read a book, I'm like, oh man, this is going to lead right into this thing that I already see coming. And I didn't see it coming. What I thought was the actual answer was actually the other way around. So I enjoyed this book.
Let me ask you a question. I'm curious on your answers. Donny Cates so far with Marvel stuff has been doing great. Thanos and then this. What else did he do? One more thing, right?
He's doing Venom, but there's something else.
Oh, not yet, though.
Not yet.
But do you think a key to... I'm not sure how long he's on Venom. Do you think a key to how great he's been consistently on these books is that he only does them for a little bit? Thanos is ending, like he has a planned story in mind and then he's done. Doctor Strange, obviously, he's going to be over like in 2 months. So he really only did like a couple runs.
I think that's Donny Cates' strength, though, is that he has a story to tell you.
That's what I mean.
It's not that I don't have to beat the dead horse.
Do you think maybe that's why he's on these short runs? It's like, hey, I got a Thanos story, rather than be like, I want to write Thanos, and then I'll figure out what I want to write.
Yeah.
Right.
He's like, I got a Thanos story, I got a Doctor Strange story.
Yep.
Rather than be like, I'm going to be a Doctor Strange. Let me figure out some stories to tell.
I think Damnation may have been a surprise for him. Going, this is what I want to do, but he's teamed up with Nick Spencer.
You know what that make me think about? It makes me think about that Donny Cates read Secret Empire, saw that scene, and was like, I think Doctor Strange can bring back Vegas. And then he came up with a story, and Nick's involved only because it's like it comes out of his story.
Right.
So I think maybe in a way, like this is all speculation, but it feels like that Donny Cates got Nick involved. Like that wouldn't be a book unless Donny Cates had
he
that
got
story.
his permission to do it and had to put his name on the book.
Yeah, so that's what I'm thinking. Like the reason why all these runs from Donny Cates are so strong is that he's not going like with this Venom. I guarantee you, he's not like, hey, I want to write Venom. I bet you he was like, I got some Venom stories, and they're like, okay, you can write Venom.
Yeah.
So it feels that's why they all feel like contained and like they actually have a point, and the endings have been great, or at least like it feels like every issue it's like, boom, stuff is happening rather than like spinning wheels. Because I think he actually has like a story in mind, and he knows where he's got to hit him in these issues because his run's so short. He's like, okay, I want to do 5 issues. This, and this is going to happen, and then I'm going to end it this way, and then I'm done. That's it.
I think I would rather read a great mini that has a beginning, a middle, and an end than read something that he has to do. He has to hit a quota to write.
That's what it feels like. A lot of times writers, it feels like they're just filling quotas. Rather than being like, I gotta tell a story.
Like the Jeff Lemire run for Thanos, it was good, but in the end of it, it was like, oh, of course that's going to happen. There's nothing definitive going to end. But it just felt like we're spinning our wheels. That could have been a 5-issue run of going, hey, Thanos is going to get sick and quote unquote die, and he's not.
Well, I don't blame.
Here's how he fixes it.
I don't blame him. You got to eat, but still.
I get that. And dummies like me are going to buy the book because you're on it. But
creative wise and like story and like for quality wise, I think it's better to be like, I got a Thanos story, let me tell it, and then I'm done.
Yep, and then I'll move on to something else and tell a good story.
I bet you can think of the one writer that I'm thinking of right now that's definitely not doing
that. Start with the D.
J. Is anything else you guys got to say about the book?
No.
Did you give a rating?
I would give this a 9.
Yeah,
I really did enjoy it.
9.
This was my 9s across the table. I think most every book was 9 for me.
Yeah. We got one more book, though. Patience. Wait, you read this one. You didn't, Marvin.
Yes. He doesn't have it. You and I've read it.
All right. Man, you guys fucked up this week. We got Marvel 2-in-1, number 4, written by Chip Zdarsky with art by Valerio Schiti. And yeah, it doesn't say the colors because we don't have the book in print in front of us right now. So we're on the 4th issue of this run. The Thing and Johnny just met up with Dr. Who's-he-what's-its?
Rishan?
Right.
Who knows?
Who basically figured out that their connection to their powers is fainting because they're not next to Sue and
Reed.
who they were created with, like for their powers and whatnot. So it's them finally, like, she has this magic scanner that can, like,
I don't even remember how she has a scanner.
well, she's like a super scientist or whatever. But
like, this is me questioning just a little bit of logic, going, where did you get that machine? But okay, whatever.
Right.
Who gives a shit?
Which takes us to, eventually we get to this alternate dimension because there's a huge output of Fantastic Four energy, basically.
Of Reedness.
Right. And then this is where the book gets fucking nuts and where Marvin's probably going to kick himself. I'll let you do the honors. Why don't you tell him what happens second half of this book? You getting it right now?
You're reading it right now? Nice. We'll just wait for you to catch up.
Scrib notes.
So when the Thing and Johnny show up, they're like, oh, we're in New York, whatever, not a big deal. Goes and talks to a hot dog vendor. Hey, do you know who I am? Yeah, you're the guy who fucked my car over 9 weeks ago. Or 9 years ago. Yeah, see, everybody knows who we are. So then they end up running into... Oh, I see. Threw me off by laughing at my dumb story or dumb joke. Then they run into She-Hulk and Wolverine.
I am listening to you.
Who are working for S.H.I.E.L.D.
Who are working for S.H.I.E.L.D.
Right.
Ridiculous.
They literally start beating the shit out of them.
Boggles my mind that neither Johnny nor the Thing are like, yeah, you guys don't work for S.H.I.E.L.D. Logan's gone, and isn't Jennifer in a coma?
This is a different dimension.
No, I know, but in their dimension,
right?
That doesn't make sense,
right?
Oh, they do know they're in somewhere else.
Yeah,
they don't think they're in.
They know that, yeah.
Okay, so anyway, yeah, Logan is ends up stabbing Johnny
because they think they're Skrulls.
Yeah, so they're having a secret invasion in this universe. Like this boggles my mind. Anyway,
wait, I bet your favorite part though, Alex, was when Wolverine's doing a countdown with his claws.
What?
He extends his claws, being like,
"You have 3 seconds to tell me, or 3 chances to tell me what you're doing here."
Right, and I think the part I laughed at, hilarious, that probably in that Chip Zdarsky humor is, Wolverine's he stabs Johnny through the gut, and he pulls back his blade. He's like, "Don't Skrulls bleed green?" And he's like, "Ah, shit, I fucked up."
Then the Thing clobbers him.
Yeah,
this book had some really funny notes. Marvin, what you and I talked about on the forecast. It really is the editor or whoever is telling him how to write Spider-Man, because this Spider-Man was great. This Chip Spider-Man I loved. Was hilarious. So then we get to finding Reed.
By the way, congratulations to Chip Zdarsky, got signed exclusive to Marvel. So
yeah, I saw that.
So we end up finding Reed. Now, what happened to Sue? Sue.
So Johnny died.
Johnny's dead. Okay.
Yeah, because Johnny went up against Galactus. No, not Johnny. The Thing.
The
Thing died going up against Galactus. Galactus obliterated him like it was nothing.
Yeah.
And basically, the fallout is Johnny and Sue. Geez, I'm screwing up with names. Reed and Sue are so distraught and sad about it that it ends up causing a rift in their relationship. So she's the head of S.H.I.E.L.D. now.
That's right. Okay.
She's the head of S.H.I.E.L.D. He's trying to solve everything is what the Beast says. Oh, yeah, and the Beast is in the story, by the way. He says, Reed has gone through so much, the only way he can cope is by trying to solve everything.
By working consistently.
Right.
So then you find out that to beat Galactus, Doom has made a machine that you can work person to person that's never been used against a godly, character or person. And Doom now rules the world.
He consumes Galactus, and he basically absorbs Galactus and turns him into a giant-ass Doombot. That's just him. And so people praise Doom because they're like, oh, man, that's awesome. He saved us from Galactus, whatever. And, people think he's great, but what does he do?
He still has to eat planets, so he leaves Earth alone.
We gotta amp this up, Al. He's got a hunger for power. Man.
That's right.
This guy wants power.
That's right.
And so he wants so much power. He is hungry, but he wants so much power. What does he do, Alex?
He destroys every other planet, eating them, absorbing them, and leaves Earth alone next to the sun.
Yeah, he eats the whole universe except the sun and Earth.
It's crazy.
And you just see this black hole. And the perfect image is just the Earth and the sun. What a crazy story. And that's why I think Marvin's going to love it, because the next, was it called The Age of Doom or something?
Yes.
Something like that. But I give kudos to...
Doomapocalypse or something?
Yeah. I give kudos to Valerio Schiti. So much so that, I've seen recently, I saw the concept art for what he's going to do with Dan Slott on Iron Man. And based off this issue, I am picking up Iron Man now.
Yeah.
But that art is so good that he does. It's just very crisp and like detailed. It really fits in a sci-fi type of world, type of book. So I think, art was great. Story-wise, like we're definitely getting a lot of emotional storytelling.
I like that, and hopefully this is the way it builds up the whole time. They're going to consistently look for Reeds and Sues. Hopefully we're in this universe for another issue, maybe 2, and then we'll move on to the next one, looking for Reed and Sue. I don't want them to find them for a year. Let them keep working on this, keep having issues with Doom. Great. I laughed out loud at Wolverine in the elevator talking to Johnny going, I'm sorry I stabbed you. Apology not accepted.
Yeah, that was pretty funny too.
You know what? That's a pretty good joke.
I do have a prediction based off this. I feel like instead of them finding Reed and Sue, they're going to team up with Reed and Sue's children, and they'll be the Fantastic. So what's the two?
Franklin and Valerie again?
Yeah, Franklin and Valeria. Like, they'll be the other two parts of the Fantastic Four.
That'd be okay.
But I don't know if, like, again, all new, fresh rebirth now thing, whatever it's called, fresh start, if that's just going to throw away the storyline, which I hope it doesn't. But I think that'd be cool if, like, you're trying to, like, create something new for the Fantastic Four while also remembering the legacy of it. I think it'd be cool to have Reed and Sue's kids as part of the Fantastic Four. But otherwise, just to bring Reed and Sue back.
I know
why do they have to die?
Reed and Sue come back. Obviously, the kids will come with, but...
Was it Civil War 2 or Secret Empire at the end? No, I think it was Civil War 2, wasn't it? No, where we see what happens with Reed and Sue, like what they're up to, like them and their family.
I believe it was Secret
Wars, yeah. It was Secret Wars. That was the last time you saw them as a family.
When they're out in the universe.
Right.
Multiverse.
Keeping everything in order, so...
This is a good issue. This is
another 9?
Yeah, honestly, a solid 9.
Yep. The only part I didn't like is, like, I feel like the Doctor, there's, like, a lot of emphasis on her, and, like, she seems kind of sketchy to me.
Oh, when she goes, you guys go look for what you want to do, I'm going to go do other things, like, you're going to be a bad guy.
Yeah.
And they're going to have to clobber you.
Right. So, looking forward to see what issue 5 brings and potential new Fantastic Four.
It was a fun book. I really did enjoy this issue.
Mm-hmm.
Marvel 201 number 3, 4. Dry County number 1. This is Mr. Miracle number 7. Deadly Class number 32 and Doctor Strange number 397.
Yes. 387.
387. Short book?
Dry County number
Detective Comics number
76. 976.
976. Supercon 2018, Return of the Con, September 28th, 29th, and 30th. Tickets on sale at supercon.com. Alex, we're going to be there doing a show, aren't we?
Yeah, we're going to be there on the 28th doing a live show for everyone. What's it going to be called? Wednesday Comics After Dark.
And not only us are going to be there, a lot of people are going to be there. Phil Hester, right, Garrett?
Yes, Phil Hester, the current artist of Batman Beyond. He's done other projects like Shipwreck. He's done some Swamp Thing that you may or may not have seen, and some Holland Files that came out recently.
Not only Phil, Science Steve, Shay Fontana, Tony Fleece, Travis Nye, Midwest All Pro doing a show the 28th. They'll be doing a show that night. That's the main attraction that night. Jill Thompson, Ryan Cody, John Allen, and more. Tom Wynn. Going to be at supercon.com. Make sure there's a lot going on that weekend. I would say if I am going to tell you any kind of advice, buy that weekend pass. You won't regret it. You got MAP concert that night also. You got Wednesday Comics After Dark. And then you got a whole weekend of stuff to do, people to see. Supercon.com for more information. Let's get into this week's game, Comic Book Friends. We're going to see how much Alex and Garrett know each other. You will get points for correctly answering their answer. So
you and I get points, not the listeners.
Each one you get wrong, I get a point. Each one you get right, you eventually get points. We'll see who wins at the end. 3 people playing the game.
Dooming this game.
This should be Shot's game. We should just be getting hammered when you...
I get points because I wrote hard questions. That's why. So here we go. First, I will start. We're going to go back and forth.
Yep.
Obviously. No, you know what? Let's do it the other way. I'll go through one person's the whole thing. That way we don't get confused on who's asking what. And that's the way we'll go. So here is Garrett's sheet. This is the questions that I asked Garrett.
So I have to answer.
I'm going to ask Alex to give me the answer that Garrett wrote down on his form. Let me pull that up here on the old
telephone
information phone.
World Wide Web.
Garrett sent me a text with his answers. I got to pull up. All right. There's 3 sets of 3 questions each. They all had different kind of categories. The first one's called This or That. It is a question where they have to pick one of 2 things. Who is the better artist, Jack Kirby or Neil Adams? Which one?
Oh, hold on, let me see that sheet. That is not the context that you put that in.
What else would it be?
Writing? Storytelling?
No, it's best artist.
It doesn't say that. How was I supposed to know that?
What else would it be?
I just assumed who
Jack Kirby or Neil Adams? Neil Adams writes, Jack Kirby writes.
Yeah,
I just assumed who is the best altogether.
Okay,
Yeah, that's what I
who's
went
the best
off of. I'm just saying, if it was based on art, obviously Kirby.
Now I know the answer.
Well, no, I mean that's not how I thought the question was.
That's why there were 2 artists.
What? How am I supposed to know that? Because they write just as much as they draw.
But they're known for their art.
Oh, really? I didn't know. See, I didn't know that.
Just storytelling in general.
Yours
Art is a version of storytelling.
Alex's is different than yours, but yours are 2 artists.
Well, it doesn't say that.
I didn't remember what my first question was on mine.
But if I put 2 musicians down and I was like, okay, who's the better musician? You go, whoa, what about which one's better at charity work? And I was like, no, it's the musician.
But see, I guess for me personally, I like your question. I couldn't have answered it because I would have been like, oh, which one do I like as a character or as a person?
That's why
overall?
Alex asked me questions. You didn't ask me any questions about yours.
Yes, I did. I
Yes,
pointed you and asked you about that.
Anyway, so I'll answer this question. Jack Kirby or...
So you're thinking,
Neil
you
Adams.
answered as overall.
Right.
Okay. Overall, Jack Kirby or Neil Adams?
I'm going to say Neil Adams.
You would be correct. I did pick Neil Adams only for the fact that, like, literally, I haven't read a lot of Jack Kirby stuff.
Judge, is that correct? Did he actually say that?
He did. I don't know why he gave you the answer there, but there you go.
Well, I'm not supposed to?
No. Why he didn't
Oh.
tell me the answer.
Oh.
You can
I didn't tell
confirm.
him. Yes, he said Neil Adams. What was the reason?
Well, the reasoning is because, like, I've read more by Neil Adams. I've seen more art by Neil Adams. Like, Jack Kirby, I'm very fresh to. Like, I haven't really gone back and read most of his stuff. Like, probably the closest thing I've read has been in tribute to him, and that's the
Commodity Challenge.
Commodity Challenge.
I think that's the only thing I actually know.
Right. So, I mean, I know Jack, I know of his works, like, you know, creating the New Gods and doing things for Marvel and that, but that's kind of all I really know about him. I've actually bought Neil Adams comics. I've read them. I've seen his art. So, you know, I've just experienced Neil Adams more. And so based on that fact, that's why I picked him as overall. If I knew it was just best artist, Neil Adams' artists can't touch Jack Kirby's. So Jack Kirby would have won that battle.
Yeah, I'll give the answer. I got to ramp it up. I can't just give it out like that. There's got to be some suspense in this thing.
Sorry, I was just like mad because I was like, that was not phrased correctly how I...
Who's the better character? Is it Steele or MODOK? The better character, Steele or MODOK?
See, now I'm a little torn for the fact I know where Steele comes from.
We're talking Shaquille O'Neal Steele.
Well, if that's the case, then I'd probably then say Steele, just the fact he's actually got a movie. MODOK has yet to show up. You know,
it was in the old
Was
Iron
it-
Man cartoon.
Was that you dissing MODOK?
you heard it right here first. Dissed MODOK. I think I am going to say Steele. I think Steele would be your choice.
Yep.
It is. Well, once again, it is
Sorry.
Steele.
Sorry.
It just makes more sense. He might as well answer. He knows what he's
No,
saying.
I got to ramp up the answer.
Fine,
It's going to be
let you
some
ramp it
Of course,
suspense.
that's true.
Steele or MODOK? He did say Steele, so that's another point for Alex. There you go.
Of course.
Why do you say? Because you like Shaquille?
No.
I assume from being in Superman's story, that was my big thing.
Right.
I
He
assume
was
Superman's
huge in
world.
like the death of Superman arc.
What? He was?
Yeah. Him and the other Superman. There's a storyline called Rise of the Superman, and it's about them protecting Earth while Superman's dead quotation marks.
Huh. Didn't know that.
Which is the better movie? Is it the original Superman movie or The Dark Knight?
This one, as I looked down, I think, oh, this could be really tough. How biased of Superman is it going to be? Being for the fact, I assume this would have Christopher Reeve in it. Or do you love Dark Knight so much? But this one was tough for me to, as just your friend. Which one do I think you like more? Which one do you have like dirty dreams about? I think I'm gonna say Superman.
Superman it is. Says it's better than that.
Some
Dark Knight.
amping that was.
Yeah, Superman's the right answer. I was like, God, You know,
3 points for Alex. Superman it is. 1970 what?
70, I want to say 6, but
Yeah,
I feel
I think
like,
it is 76.
Yeah.
That's what I was going to say too.
but yeah, I mean, like Dark Knight's a great movie. Don't get me wrong. But Superman, I've poured my heart and soul into. Like I've watched a million documentaries on that. Like, you know, learning about the whole controversy behind Dick Donner and like the Salkinds. Like there's just so much going into that movie. Like all the new technology they created for that movie. Like Christopher Reeve as an actor and as like a philanthropist. I mean,
Whoa.
just what the whole cast was
Doesn't say
great.
your favorite movie. It says which one's the better movie.
Superman would be story wise. You know, I think that it does follow the comics, but it kind of does its own thing too.
Let's think about it though. Which one won an Oscar? Dark Knight.
For best supporting actor.
Yeah, still an Oscar. Just like Suicide Squad. DC too. Everybody else not. Here we go. Today is the next category. These are questions talking about today, tomorrow, and just today. Who is your favorite current writer? Who's the Garrett's favorite current writer? Who's the guy he likes that puts pen to paper? Now you got a lot of choices here, Alex. Now think it through. Don't just throw out an answer. You can think about everybody that's available.
So now my problem is that there's other writers that pop into my head going, I know you.
Current.
That he actually really likes.
Think about the books he gets.
Yeah, no, that's
You got 3 points. Don't make it not
garbage. That one's garbage.
You can get total of 9 in this whole game. Don't mess this up. What book does he like? Who does he like? Current favorite writer.
I'm working on it. Give me a second. I'm still thinking right here.
Of today.
Oh, you want the answer today too?
Yeah,
by the way, Garrett, happy birthday.
Hey, thank you.
You know,
Technically, it was
you guys want
3
to know
days ago, but
what? Isn't it tomorrow?
when does this show come out, dumbasses?
Oh,
I was just doing it as your
well,
friend.
then it's 2 days ago.
Brian Hill. He writes Postal, right?
Yeah.
Brian Hill writes Postal. That's the
Good
answer
writer.
that you gave. Garrett turns his card around and it says Tom Taylor, so that's not a point for you.
Justice.
He likes Tom
Wonder
Taylor. You know
Woman.
I
why?
mean,
X-Men Red.
Anything can happen. That's why.
I don't know that for.
Justice
I don't
2.
know that for sure.
and do you remember like 2 months ago when we did our top 5 writers and I put Tom Taylor as number
Dude,
1?
you think I listen when we talk about stuff on it? Because there's an answer that I put down just to spite somebody.
Top writer, but if you remember from a couple months ago, this book's been only okay recently. So.
Okay,
pick
I'm ready.
back up.
So I've got 3.
Next question from the today category. This is today, 2018. So don't think about 2019. What is the one book you wish you got that started in the last year? Like a new book. Which is the one book that he's like, fuck, I should have got that book. I should have started. I'm too late now. The game, obviously, the train's rolled on, but here I am being like, where am I? I sees it on the shelf every time he walks in. He's like, that book, I should have got it.
Well, to be fair, we don't have that problem usually as often. So what book should we not have gotten?
He sees it on the internet. He says, he sees people talking about it. He's like, I should have got that book. What do you think, Alex?
If it was last year, it would have been
Within the
definitely
last year.
class. Yeah, what? Yeah,
No, he doesn't get the book.
yeah, I know. I'm saying last year he
Think
didn't
it
get the
through.
book.
Don't put all these bullshit answers.
I'm talking out loud.
I'm helping you. Help me help you.
Help me to help you. It's a book that he says that he would have wanted to get.
3 points, Alex, out of possible 4, so don't make it 5.
I'm trying not to look at you because I know that I'm going to.
Why, you got to read a title out of his eyes?
It's one of those things that I know I'm wrong. Ooh, no.
You're going to say something, you're going to see it in his eyes?
Yep. Well, no, I just know what I'm going to say is not right.
I don't think it's something you don't know about Garrett. This man used to be in the world record for a stern eye contest. 5 days, no blinking. So if you want to stare at him, go right ahead. You're going to lose.
That would be crazy. Your eyes would be so dry.
What is the record, you think? It can't be more than an hour, right?
No,
I would
there's no
assume
way.
not, and that's
Your
because
eyes
they
would
taped
dry
them
out so
open.
much.
Saga.
Saga, he says. No, it started within the last year. I'm going to give you another
the
shot.
book itself started.
It started
this
last year.
Oh, I
Within
just
the
thought it
last
was a
year.
book that you
No,
wish
it's
you
like
had
a
got.
brand new book in the last year. He's like, I just want because it's more current stuff.
Okay.
So within the last year, he looked on the shelf and was like, man, I should have picked that up. I'm going to give you a second chance.
Like in like last year, which is 3 months. Or in 2017 even.
Within the last year.
Okay.
From now to 365 days ago.
What book would he have wanted that he doesn't get now? Okay, the 3.
41 minutes.
Jeez.
Without blinking. 41 minutes.
That's pretty good. I was confused. I was like, no, this hasn't been 41 minutes. I've been thinking about this fucking thing.
I'm going to give you 30 more seconds. Give me an answer. We got to go commercial.
I know. I'm working on it. Hang on. I'm trying
They're
to think.
talking to my earpiece. They say, come on, we got to roll up to a Tide commercial. We got to roll up to a Bounce.
Tide guy?
Snuggles.
Is that what it was in the Super Bowl? Was that guys?
Yeah.
Tide guy? Tide ad.
Whatever happened to Snuggle? That bear is on the streets.
He got destroyed in Robot Chicken.
He's hanging out with Osito.
Nobody wants to wash their clothes with the bear anymore?
No.
Oh,
It's a lot of hair and a lot of fuzz to get in it. What has come out in the last... Like, I'm struggling to think what has come out in the last
15
year
seconds
that you would actually want to get. And it's probably going to be one of those easy fucking books that you're going to tell
I've
me.
never said it to either of you.
Okay, good. So I won't...
more
Answer surprised me. I'll give you that. But you got 10 seconds.
Astro City. No, that's been out for a long time. I don't give a shit. Tell me.
Alex, 3 points out of a possible 5. You fucked up again. Grass Kings by Matt Kent.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we talked about it. We see it every week.
You know what? If I would answer that question, probably same answer. I would have remembered that book.
Yeah, even know the title. But
Every time I go to the comic shop and I see it on the shelf, I'm like, almost like, geez, I didn't even know. You know why? I think I missed it. Like, I didn't even hear it coming out. Right. And then now it's wrapping up, and I'm like, dude.
I remember seeing the first issue, and I was just kind of like,
It reminds me of Snowblind. Every time I see the
I think
covers.
of Snowblind. I'm just like, gosh, I should have got that book.
You and I've talked about it before at the shop.
Right. It looks good.
Question 3 of today. What current book that he gets would he give to a new reader? What current book would he give to a new reader and be like, hey, start here? This is what he's saying. He says, current book he's getting? Start here, he says. He's trying to bring in these new readers.
Current book.
We're dying off. He's trying to breed some more.
What?
What's he going to give to a new reader?
Royal City.
You say Royal City. And he said Met Cadet.
Royal
Really?
City? You would hand that to a new reader and be like, read this.
Yeah, because it's a book about just people.
I don't think so. I don't think you're going to get someone that's like brand new into comics to start reading like nonfiction.
You and I live in different worlds. It's weird. I could get your this or that because I can guess 50%.
Obviously, if you listen to this game, you know it's based on a newlywed game, but it's Friends. We're the comic book Friends. What you just said, we're obviously living in a different world, is something you would hear on that show. We're obviously living in different worlds, man.
You're looking into dating other people.
You're rethinking your relationship here.
But I can use all ages, and it's like it's got a pretty simple plot, and like I think that for
Robots
somebody,
versus what?
I think what
right,
Garrett's trying to say, it's more accessible. For people.
Right.
You're a little heavy with that Royal City.
Yeah,
you want to depress him right away.
It's like here, get
I
the
agree.
comics. Don't cry and kill yourself.
If somebody was familiar with comics, but
Here's
don't
week
read
3.
much,
Read this.
Yeah,
Don't blow your brains out.
that's like Michael Scott giving Toby a rock that says "Eat this."
That's the end of that today category. Alex was 0 for 0 for that one.
Hey, I'm 3 out of 9. Way to go, me.
You're 3 out of 3 when I give you 2 choices.
Yep.
Good job.
Hey, to be fair, those can be hard.
Now here come the harder ones. Long term, I call them because they're longer questions and they take more brain power. Let's see if you get it. What's the worst thing about Superman? Garrett's telling you what's the worst thing about Superman. He sees this guy in his tights, this guy with his cape with the S in the back, and he says, what's wrong about this guy? Is it the neck when he's flying? Does it hurt?
No, I know. Gosh, you're the worst.
You know what?
I just meant if a human got his power, there's no way that we're invulnerable from neck pain.
Is it because he can't shave with a knife?
Does it with a mirror?
Yeah, so just use the mirror and use his laser eyes. The worst thing about Soups is when he doesn't have that yellow S.
You say the worst thing about Superman is when they miss the S.
Yes.
Garrett says is when he gives into his fear. Now, I know what you think because I thought the same thing.
Yellow Lanterns?
I was like, I don't know what that means. So explain yourself.
So yeah, I mean, like, just think of this last arc of I know you dropped Action
And Superman.
but basically based off what happened with Mr. Oz and like his father and everything like that, he gave into his fear and his anxiety so much that he goes back in time to try to see if like he's so hysterical that he's trying to make sure that it's like true that actually happened. So much so that he's willing to risk everything he has in his whole life just to verify a certain point. Same thing with his family. Whenever he freaks out about Lois and John, like he'll go berserk. He'll go berserker mode, Superman, and without just slowing down, thinking things through. So I think, a lot of people say like, oh, his only weakness is kryptonite. I'm like, no, his weakness is his mind, because the only person that gets down on himself more than anyone else around him is himself. And he's always been a block for himself when it comes to like his personality and like his morals and things like that. He always thinks that he's going to screw up. He thinks he's going to do something wrong. He always does the right thing. And that's why he's Superman. Like he's flawed internally, thinking that he will do something. He's going to do something the best of his ability, but he doesn't know it's always the right thing. And I think when he gives into his fear of like doing wrong or like doing something that's going to cause a lot of grief and whatnot, that he kind of loses a piece of himself and like what he's trying to accomplish.
Long way to say Superman's a loser.
Go for yourself.
And we'll be back after this. All right, next part, Alex. Ooh, buddy. 3 out of 7.
I'm telling you what, I'm going to probably struggle with these last 2.
These last 3 are hard shit.
What is the worst superpower? I told Garrett what's the worst superpower, and he's trying to give me an answer. Now, I didn't look at this yet. So don't look at me for clues. I put at this point. But he's saying, what's the worst superpower?
What I put?
You have to explain
yeah, tell me.
Is that somebody's actually superpower?
I remember, yeah.
Okay. What's the worst superpower? There's a million of them. There's that one where you throw up guns because you think about it. Remember that from Civil War II?
That was Secret Empire, I thought.
Secret Empire? Who knows? They all meshed together.
I guess I don't remember.
I have a superpower.
Worst?
I'm always late.
Worst power. Memory shot to hell.
Memory shot to hell. No. That's not it, though. I remember specific things that nobody gives a shit about. Like, you'd be like, hey, Mark, do you remember 3 years ago when we went to a restaurant? And I go, no, I don't. Guess what, though? 3 years ago, on a Saturday,
he was 3 years younger.
I went, hey, Jimmy John's. So,
that could be a lot of
what'd you have for breakfast?
What's the best sub?
Waffles.
Jimmy John's, Subway, or Jersey Mike's?
Zoop. I've never had Jersey
Subway.
Mike's. I would say, if of the ones I've actually had, it'd be Jimmy John's.
All right, here we go. What's the best sub? Gas station, grocery store, Burger King.
Grocery store.
Probably grocery store.
Or dumpster out back.
Anyway, I gotta figure out this other question first.
What is the worst superpower?
Out of the billion that there are.
Is it thinking about a sub and throwing it up?
So what superpower?
So that you could
Superman
read it?
have?
Do you think,
for that.
Garrett, you think about that for a second, Alex? I'll give you a second here by ramping up. If you had that power, where you thought about stuff and you would throw it up, would you throw up food and then re-eat it?
That's what I was, yeah. I mean,
he can live
would.
forever. I mean, he's never going to run out of food.
Yeah. I would throw up
Would you be able to eat that,
$1 billion. What?
Would you be able to eat that? Like you thought of a sub, you threw
as
it up. As
long as like my mucus wasn't all over it, like it wasn't like coated in my
mucus. The way
mucus.
they drew it, it was coated.
It was? Then no. I wouldn't be able to eat it. It would be like,
it really is a dumb power.
yeah.
Like, the only thing you could throw up is, like, you can't throw up a coffee.
Can it be a dumb power? Is it a legit power, or is it one that I know you've made up one time?
No, it's a legit power.
Okay, because I was going to say your pea and chocolate milk one. That would be a horrible power.
Where did that go? I don't
It was from work years ago.
I said pea and chocolate.
You see,
That's
what's
like
the worst?
useless power.
And that's his useless power is Alex remembers everything. And so that brain is full of nothing.
It doesn't make any sense because you can only pee out water.
Well, this one you were peeing out chocolate milk, apparently.
What if you thought of chocolate milk, you threw that up, and then you drink it?
Oh,
fuck.
I couldn't do that. I can't spit it, drink out, and then drink it again. I'm going to say telekinesis. Worst power.
Telekinesis.
Yeah. Moving
You think that he
mind.
thinks moving shit with your mind is bad?
Yeah.
Worst.
False.
What is it?
It's blinking and changing frequencies.
The ability to change frequencies by blinking your eyes.
Yeah.
What reference is that from?
That's from X-Men 2 with
Yep.
the kids changing channels.
Right. Dumbest fucking power.
Like, you might even just have that. What was?
You never know though. What if you're a TV junkie. You don't like remotes.
I know, but like, do you think that kid's parents was like, holy shit, he just changed the TV without the remote?
Well,
Get that guy to the Xavier Institute right now.
He's obviously there for a reason. They thought he was special.
Yeah, he's going to frickin' change the radio.
To be fair, never would have gotten that, but I got the reference after you say it.
But I was just thinking of him, and like that's what I struggled with. I was like, what's just a dumb power that I think is just pointless, and that's it.
You're not thinking huge scale. Like if that guy is at a stadium, he's changing that TV to whatever he wants. If he's at the Dallas Stadium, he's got a big TV.
What if you're watching like a live video of like one of your loved ones doing something really special, but you blink your fucking eyes?
Wait,
I wonder if he can't control it though.
Is that stadium in Arlington, Texas, not Dallas? The Cowboys?
Arlington, yeah.
Okay. Who has the best origin story? Out of everyone possible, who has the best origin story? There's a lot of possibilities. Could be anybody. By the way, please do not end this game with 3 points.
I sense I will be.
Give me the 4. Show me you can go 4, like almost halfway. 4 out of 9. You're almost at 50. You're almost at 50%. You know, either way, if this was actually school, you would flunk. But I'm going to pass you because I feel bad for you.
See, an actual good origin story.
Hey, with that memory, were you good in school?
Yes.
Like, taking tests?
Yes.
And did you actually like remember answers like legitimately from reading it?
What's that called?
Like I would sit in the same spot so that
photographic memory.
Yeah.
See, I would do that too for tests.
Because I can remember how I would attribute it to something else, and then I would pull it back on. Well, I was thinking about this girl, or I was thinking about eating pizza that day, which led me to Black Olives. Give me some of that black shit, which I met you at that place I was eating at. Holy crap, this is the answer.
Well, I just think back to when I was cheating and watching the order of the answers on my people.
Okay, so who's got the best origin story?
You think we're joking around, but this guy might actually legitimately have a superpower. He has sense memory.
Who does?
Alex.
I would chew gum, and I would chew the same type of gum while I take
so
tests.
that he can remember. So like if he chooses wintergreen, anytime he's ever chew wintergreen, he remembers all those memories. Like he gets flooded with them. If he drinks Coke and he's like, so look, imagine he never drink Coke in his whole life. He goes, I want to remember this specific moment. Give me a Coke. I never drink it. He drinks it. 50 years down the line, he drinks another Coke. He remembers that memory.
I can smell things and it'll remind me of things like when I was 5.
I don't even remember yesterday. You remember you're 5. What's the best origin story?
Mine, duh. Let's see.
Brought to you by Coca-Cola. Sorry,
I don't know how biased you're really going to be. Superman.
Superman is his answer. There you go. 4 out of 5.
Of course, 9. It's Superman.
Because I was like, God,
I was going to say that was the easiest one out of all of them.
Yeah.
And
no, I know, but it was me overthinking.
You thought he was going to try to trick you? That man's coming.
To be fair,
what do you think it was in fight with?
No one.
No, Spider-Man. I was pretty close to putting Spider-Man.
I thought Bruce. No.
There we go.
Wonder Woman. No. Matthew Murdock. No. I know who it would be.
Thank you, Alex. You got 4.
Why do you think the first half hour of Man of Steel is the fucking origin?
Yeah.
Garrett, you just got to get 4 of these correct, and then if you get 5, you'll win the game 4 to tie. Honestly, let's see here. How well you know Alex Pastrello. I bet you didn't even know he had sense memory. That's a new thing.
Well, didn't work this time. Right?
Well, I've never taken this test before.
This or that. Here we go. Give you 2 choices. And how did you take this first one? Best overall or best writer?
I remember what the first question was.
Grant Morrison or Warren Ellis?
Oh, I assumed which one I liked the most.
Okay, Grant Morrison or Warren Ellis.
Well, I was also answering it for you. So I was thinking it was for you.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
You answered those thinking it was for me?
Yeah.
You did, even though you asked?
No. That first one. Everyone else, I realized it was me.
That's so fucking
Is your answer the same?
For what?
The first one.
Yes, it's still the same.
Oh, then why even bring that up? That's also his superpower.
Saying he has much
shit.
Fucking
yes.
information.
This would be my.
Okay.
This is something I would also agree with. Though. I like this writer.
You need to restructure this for me because now I'm just fucked up.
Which writer do I like the most?
Grant Morrison, Warren Ellis.
But you answered it thinking of me?
But it's his answer.
But it's my answer too, so it's for me.
So just answer.
Which answer do you think I would put?
What's throwing you for a curveball here?
The fact that he was answering this like he was.
But I just asked. We just erased all that, and I asked
It's
him,
me.
and he said it's him.
Okay.
So which writer do I like?
Warren
more?
Ellis.
Nope.
Nope.
Grant Morrison.
What?
Come on.
I've never heard you say that you really enjoy Grant Morrison. I heard
The
you.
only thing I like about him, he wrote We Three
Yeah.
and All Star.
Wow.
Of course, the one book that made me want to kill myself.
I wrote
Me
Marvin instead of Garrett. So that's how good I'm doing tonight.
Of course, that may have been. 'cause I
Garrett,
read
0
Very
points so
Bad.
far. Alex, you got a shot? Who is the better character? Is it Bruce Banner or Thor? Who do you pick? Bruce Banner or Thor?
Better character?
Yes, better character.
Bruce Banner.
Bruce Banner, he says.
I think it's the Thor
Alex said Thor.
because I thought actually just Bruce Banner.
Yep,
I
no
didn't
Hulk.
attribute to Hulk.
It's Bruce Banner or Thor. And you pick Thor.
Fucking up.
These are the ones Alex was already good on. Maybe you know him better when it's long form. We'll see. Better movie, Ant-Man or Iron Man 3? Ant-Man or Iron Man 3? Which one was the one?
Ant-Man.
This one was, yes.
Which is the one that Alex went into the theater and was like, I enjoy this more?
I watched Iron Man 3 just recently. I was like, yeah, it's fine.
That movie's so good.
It's Ant-Man, yep.
Of Iron Man 3.
Yeah. By Shane Black, who did Lethal Weapon.
It's good, but it's just, I don't know.
I wrote it.
I thought you liked Iron Man.
I did to begin with, and I watched it again. I was like, oh, it's okay. There's parts that were really good. There are other parts that I was like, yeah, I'm okay. I don't like him being anxious, but I guess he's anxious from the Avenger
Quit watching
battle.
movies.
Huh?
Quit watching movies the second time. Let it live in your mind.
I know I should.
Let it sit.
Power Rangers was amazing. Let it live that
My
way.
mind is like a slow cooker. It sits in there and it comes out.
He forgets it was in there
Just
and it
gets
got
moldy.
burned.
Well, I mean, it's going to be in there for a while. That's why I can't remember
It
it.
got burned.
I'm always in the moment. Today. This is the category today, Garrett. Who is Alex's current favorite artist? Who is his favorite artist currently? Right now, he walks in the comic book shop and he's like, that's my guy. That's my girl. That's my person.
I know it's between two.
It might
I
be.
think.
His dog's an artist too. Don't forget that. He does finger painting.
He doesn't have fingers. He's got paws.
Dogs have fingers. What do you call them?
Digits.
Nubs? Digits. Aren't digits fingers?
Yes.
Hey, what animals have opposable thumbs?
Generally, it's mostly apes.
Possum.
Jeff
That's
Shaw.
what-
Possums aren't apes.
No. But it did cross my mind, but no.
Just answered.
Would you say Jeff Shaw?
Yeah.
No,
Chris Samney.
incorrect. Chris Samney.
It's a burden to him.
Nice.
Who's your second one?
I was going to put Jeff Lemire.
Oh, yeah. That one, actually, he didn't cross my mind for that. I was going to put David Aja, and then I realized he hasn't done anything.
Yeah,
So, until next week.
He's ramping up.
what's he
the
doing next
seeds.
week?
Next week's The Seeds, that one by Ann Nocenti and
Oh.
him.
Not going to touch out the 10-foot pole.
Garrett, you're currently at 1 out of 4. So we're in good. Alex, you're in
Hey,
good place.
we're-
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
He's, you know,
25%?
You have to go 100% the rest of the way to win this game.
Well,
So we'll see.
yeah, but he kind of 3 out of my 9 were Superman. So,
No, they weren't.
the movie Superman,
Jack Kirby.
Best Origin, Superman. What was the other Superman one?
Steel. Kind of Superman-ish.
He didn't even know he was part of the Superman thing.
No, I did. I knew he was in the Superman Metropolis.
What book currently, Alex, this is today category, you remember that. What book does Alex currently get that he would drop next? What's the book that's on a cutting board?
I don't remember.
What's the book that Alex looks at his stack and says, if I'm going to cut one next, that's the one. He says, adios
because I
to
don't
that
remember.
book. I am close. The knife is getting closer. Guillotine. The machete.
Oh, I know. I'm going to say it.
The Seath. It's getting close.
Oh, okay. Daredevil.
Yes.
Daredevil.
That is
How
it.
do you know that?
Because we've talked about
We've
it
talked about
before. We've
dropping
like,
that.
God, we look
Guys
at it
talking
every
about beef?
time,
Yep.
and we're
I
just
think
like,
you liked the last issue.
We did like
We
the last
did.
issue, but it's
Issues
one of those
before
books that
that.
I can't be. I need to really enjoy it. Yeah. Way to go.
I just think you don't like blind people, so.
that doesn't make any sense.
That's not the. That's not,
Or you don't like. Oh, no. Gordon Ramsay. I know you hate Gordon Ramsay. He's not in this book. That's Hell's Kitchen. That's a place.
oh.
Yeah, I went by his Hell's Kitchen. In
I got
Vegas.
Did you go in?
No.
Why
Yeah,
not?
all right, I'm going to buy a $60 6-ounce steak.
Live your
Nah, I'm
life.
Oh.
You got
Live your
one
life.
Hey, if me watching soaps in the morning, I've learned anything. You got one life to live, and these are the days of our lives.
The young and the
We
restless.
are the young and the restless.
All my children.
Oh shit!
Which
this
isn't on
this
anymore.
this is the paper. We need physical here. Today, what writer will you blind buy? Now, Alex, before the show started, did not know what blind buy means, so I had to explain it. So I'll explain it to you. What writer is Alex seeing on a cover of a comic and he's like, I'm going to get that. He knows nothing about the book. He just sees it on the shelf. Was like, that's my guy. That's my girl.
Tom King.
Tom King, he says.
But I'm just going to put a second one out there because I feel like it's wrong, but Donnie Cates would be my second choice.
Which is your answer? You can't do King.
I said my second
A,
choice would be Donnie Cates.
Yeah, your second
So
choice.
first is Tom King.
First is Tom King.
No. Jeff Lemire.
Incorrect. Jeff Lemire.
Oh.
When we talked about that century last week, it's like, holy shit, Jeff Lemire's getting that book. I want to get it.
You
Alex,
said you didn't want to get it.
I want to, I don't want it, but I'm probably going to get it.
Garrett, I lied. You can answer the rest of these and still win. I was one off, so
He's at what? 2
you
points?
can lose one more and tie still. He's at right
at
now
2?
2 points.
That's right, Daredevil.
There's 3 left.
And do we go by who can kick the other person in the balls harder and I start?
Oh, by the way, I think I'm winning this thing.
Well, Marvin, of course you're winning this thing.
5 and I'm up ahead, buddy. But we'll just do.
Are you doing it
between-
individually?
No, I add them up.
Okay.
I can add them up. You guys got a possibility of 9. I got a
You're
possibility
winning
of
once
18.
he didn't get the first 2.
That's how it works. You guys got a possibility of 9. I got a possibility of 18. So
Dr. Doom over here.
long term, here we go. In terms of characters, who do you enjoy more, Marvel or DC? In terms of characters, not stories or not currently with the books. I'm talking about people. I'm talking about who does he like? Does he like Sneaky Snack Wolverine? Does he like
Sneaky
Batman?
snack is what I heard.
Ooh, I'm in the
I
shadows.
imagine he's got popcorn that just sneaks into the movies.
Characters?
In terms of
Marvel.
characters,
Is that your answer?
Yeah.
Marvel's right.
Marvel is his answer.
I've heard him he loves Batman, but everyone else he pisses on all the time.
I will tell you what I like. I think of the just Avengers in general. It's like, I love most of those characters. I could give 2 shits about most of the JL, other than Bruce and Wonder Woman.
Long term, 2 questions left. If you could have one superhero's name, what would it be? Not talking powers, not talking about anything. If Alex is changing Alex Mastrella to another person's name, he's going down to that courthouse and saying, I'm changing my name today. And he bases it on a superhero. Whose name does he take?
It's hard.
He's going down pen to paper. I don't need no fucking middle names. I just need first and last.
I just got to
need-
go by who I know his favorite character is. Bruce Wayne.
Bruce Wayne it is. He's going to go down there and say, make me the Batman. And the guy's going to be like, excuse me?
I was actually torn between Peter Parker. I do love Spider-Man.
Holy shit.
I thought you might do
What?
Alex Summers or something.
No.
Garrett, you made this a game. 4-4. Last question. Get this right, you win. Get this right, you
This
guys
one, actually, I
tie.
think you should be able to get this one.
If you guys tie, I'm going to take the win. I'm going to say that right now. That's
Hopefully you
that's,
get this.
He's
that's,
more like Mephisto if you think about it.
He's worse than
He's a
Doom.
cunning bastard.
He's Doombot.
This
on.
game brought to you by Dove Soap. Make sure to wash yourself and feel fresh.
You can't make fake ads for real companies, Marvin.
I'm talking to the camera.
There is no camera.
Like, oh, this is a show.
We're on a show right now. You're right. This is Mephisto. We're in a different world right now.
Just because it's audio doesn't mean it's not real.
Theater of the mind. I'm trying to build we're on stage here. I'm trying
Trying to shut up a storm here.
to pitch this thing. Don't fuck it up. Long term. 4-4. The game is getting hot, baby. If Alex, this guy likes to think hypotheticals. He likes to think he putting.
Hey, don't sizzle this question so I get it wrong. Just tell me what the freaking question is.
If he can fight one supervillain 1v1, who would it be? Alex versus this guy 1v1. Who is he taking on? There's a lot of people he can take on. Who's this?
And lose too.
I mean, I'm not saying he's going to win. It's obviously Alex, pure this guy. I mean, he's got sense memory. I don't know how that's going to help him out. Maybe he'll remember having chocolate milk one day.
Put my gum in. Drink that Coke.
There's one person
You know
that
what?
comes to mind.
You know what he'll do, actually, before you answer this question? Let me ramp it up here. Sense memory. This guy's going to put a PS4 controller in his hands and remember combos, and then he'll fight the guy. That's what happened.
What?
I think it's, if I had to pick,
Oh, here we go for the win.
it's the one person, the only guy ever who could do one thing that nobody else could. I think he broke the bat. It's Bane.
No. That was my second choice.
Fuck.
It's
Joker?
Craven the Hunter.
Craven the Hunter he would fight.
Why would you fight Craven?
Dude, I want that fucking... Actually, I want his fucking vest.
You
when
think he would win?
Would I win? No, God, no.
Then why you wouldn't get to wear his vest?
There's a
You
chance.
think I'm going to beat Bane? He broke the bat's back.
I thought you wanted to fight him. This would be a
He's
quick fight.
He's going to do what Thanos does to Iron Man.
Alex is just saying on the off chance, the 1%, not even 1%, on the 0.001% chance he beats Craven, he gets a vest out of that thing.
To be fair,
Now, I'm with you. He could, out of the 0.100 chance, beat Bane and get a fucking mask, but
And you get some venom pumped in you.
yeah, I'm still on the. Have you seen Bane's like the size of a building, depending on who draws
let
him.
me ask you a question. By the
Like
way,
in a
do you ever
Turtles
wanna be called
Batman, that Bane is
Bebop and
fucked up.
Rocksteady are
Yeah.
huge.
by the way,
too.
congratulations for knowing each other the same amount, and that amount is pretty shitty, 4 out of 9. So,
Hey, at least we're even.
Heyo.
Even friendship.
but let me ask you, 'cause I
Zing.
know you like these hypotheticals, and especially when you're thinking about a fight. You and Craven, it's just you and just Craven. What's your first move? Like, what's the first thing you do out of the gate?
Like when I
By the
play,
way-
like when I play Arkham City, I don't attack first.
Think of a zoo. You walk into a zoo, you know he's in there. You're gonna fight him. It's not like face to face. You know he's in there. What do you do?
Dumb question: is he using the sniper rifle? Is he got the spear?
No, it's hand to hand. He's got knives.
I got you. This is what I would do. I would strip down naked and try to hug him. And he would run so fucking far.
Turns out he's homophobic. Runs
Exactly.
away.
That's what happened.
And that's why you got to use Dove soap. Keep you clean, keep you soft.
Lift and swipe.
Wednesday Comics 605 at gmail.com. Let us know how you use your Dove soap. How do you wipe yourself up? At Wednesday Comics on Twitter. At Garrot2188. Let them know about Superman, your love for Superman. Let them know what's the worst thing about Superman. Send them those, please.
I know, it took me 20 minutes to think of an answer, so I know you won't.
At Alex Pastrello, let him know how you'd fight Craven the Hunter. Would you help him 1v1? Would you make it 2v2? 2v2? Who joined the fight there?
Rhino.
Rhino, okay. Well,
Happen to be
yeah,
hanging
to be
out
fair to Craven, if somebody's going to join Alex's side, somebody's going to join Craven's side.
Naked
I'm
Garrett.
dead. Freaking Garrett.
Find us on Facebook at facebook.com/Wednesday Comics Podcast. On YouTube, search for Wednesday Comics. You can find the audio of this show, the audio of the forecast. Catch it up with Garrett and the Gauntlet. No Gauntlet this week. Did you set the other video?
I was working on getting it uploaded. On
I was
my
almost
phone.
like, I got there that afternoon at like 1:30. We should just cut our video in
So we
half.
could have, I could have easily done it together. I could have my job.
We'll see if we get
Oh,
something
you know,
together.
because you're on
I'm
vacation.
on vacation.
Oh, shit.
I thought you were coming home late. So.
Oh, no.
605-215-1849. That's the voicemail line. Let us know if you want to leave a voicemail. You know where you can call us and leave us your sultry tones on the phone, and we'll let you know. Ask us a question, leave us a comment, whatever you want to do. Alex, we have a book club coming up.
I got it this time. Wednesday Comics League of Extraordinary Gentle People proudly presents
Day Tripper. Written by Gabriel Ba and Fabio Moon. Boom. Solid. We got a 10-issue series. It's a book that Marvin and I have at least read. It's more of a life story, giving you different aspects of life and showing you how to live it or the bad things that may happen in your life.
I haven't
Garrett's-
started yet because I've been in a really good mood lately, especially just coming off of vacation in Sin City. So, yeah, I'm probably wait till the last second to read it. So,
Get here crying.
When you're done, leave us a voicemail, 605-215-1849, or send us a
yeah,
message.
I'll be on the show.
Or email
We
to
should just call it.
let us know what you think of the book. By the way, I tweeted out, hey, Mick, don't forget about this book club, and Gabriel Ba retweeted us, and my phone's blowing up. I don't know if you guys get notifications.
I am. It's like a vibration.
Start our phone numbers out there. We might get some weird calls. Go ahead, leave a weird call. I don't care. Do what you do. Do whatever you want to do. Leave a VM for me. Supercon 2018, the September 28th, 29th, and 30th at the Convention Center in Sioux Falls, South Dakota. Wednesday Comics will be there on the 28th doing the live show. It's going to be a lot of fun. Stop on by, and you might be part of the show. Who knows? Who knows what's going on? But there's a lot of things going on. So you know what I say? Go to supercon.com, pop down the $30, get the weekend pass. Make sure you don't miss anything. Make sure you don't miss Wednesday Comics when we're out there. We're not only going to be out there doing the show. We're going to be out there shaking hands, taking names. I'm probably not taking names, but we'll shake hands. Maybe fist bump. Might be a little. I might get sick. Purell. Roots of the Swamp Thing.
I can't wait until after you shake someone's hand every time we've got this giant thing of Purell. You're just
Hey, you got to play. Get safe out there, huh? Anywhere you go. You know what? I go to my own house. I go downstairs. Purell. Can't be too careful.
get
Those
later.
stairs- those stairs
that
might
you're
be good.
wearing.
You go outside for 2 seconds. Go back inside. Purell. Actually, you know what? Not even Purell. Lysol. I go straight up.
Hydrochloric acid.
Do you use it like when you go outside, Marvin? Do you wear it like sunscreen because you're so scared of the environment?
Well, that's what happens when you're a hermit.
Yeah, I know.
RootsOfTheSwampThing.com. Go there and learn more about the Avatar of the Green. Follow him on DC World Swampy on Twitter or at Facebook.com/WednesdayComics. Facebook.com/RootsOfTheSwampThing. There's a lot of things because by the way I say follow him on Twitter at DC World Swampy. That's a lot of sense memory.
Nice. Superpower.
RootsOfTheSwampThing.com. Go there. Make sure when more news is coming out about his future endeavors in terms of Holland Files or anything he has coming out, you'll be the first to know. And make sure you get right in there. A lot of things are good quality. These are good quality books. Good content on RootsOfTheSwampThing.com. Make sure you're in on the journey with Swamp Thing. Subscribe to the show on iTunes, Google Play, Stitcher Radio, and Spotify. You can follow us on Spotify, so that's the way you subscribe in a way. They'll let you know when there's a new episode up. You can subscribe in the other ones. It'll download them right away, no matter if it's 2 in the morning when I finish it and I push it out, or if it's if you wanted to, just find it on Spotify when it comes out, go ahead and do that too. Do it manually, do it automatically. I'm sure to make it easy for you. I put it on multiple platforms here. Hey, it's even on TuneIn Radio. It's on Blueberry.com. It's all over the place. I don't know where it is. Who knows? Like I said, also on YouTube. You want to subscribe to us on YouTube?
I don't know what he's saying.
Subscribe to us on YouTube, and you can get it there too. Also, make sure you hit that bell. That bell's going to be like, hey, when's the comics up?
Holy shit! It's almost been. How long has it been without that bell?
R.I.P.
This has been like the promises. Like it's been peaceful.
You better enjoy. That bell might be coming back. I'm going to buy its cousin. It's that was a good show we had today. You guys learn a little bit about each other. Learn a little bit about you. We learned a little bit about comic books today. We also learned a little bit about Alex being pessimistic about some Black Label.
He sounds like Stewie from Family Guy.
I don't know.
Lewis.
How's that novel going?
A lot of good things happen in comics these
How's
days.
Bats
Don't
doing?
take my tone right now to show how much I'm excited on the inside. But just live your life. Live my life. Live all the lives you can. My name is Marvin.
That was somber and creepy. I am Alex.
See, that's what you'd get if you hand a new reader Royal City. I'm Garrett.
Hey, everyone. Keep turning those pages.